Again, a lot of talk about why he quit over the weekend. What do you think he did? To spend more time campaigning, to distance himself from Newt Gingrich, because it's time to go up or out. I'll tell you, Bob Dole is probably going to have to suffer revolution now bogged down, or he's going to have a problem. And he does not seem inclined to do it. The Democrats are going to have a heyday. They're going to call it the Dole-Gingrich campaign. The admiral who committed suicide, Admiral Bourne, was covered over the weekend, and we learned the genesis of the story. It was a group called the National Security News Service. Actually, two guys. They were guests on Meet the Press. The way the whole thing began was they requested a Freedom of Information document on the Admiral. They concluded he was not entitled to wear the V Medal Award, which means combat in Vietnam. They broke the news that the Admiral was wearing the medals, wearing medals he had not earned. Somehow Newsweek got hold of it. They were to have a 2:30 p.m. appointment with the Admiral. That is the day he committed suicide. Now, various people in the Navy have said the Admiral was indeed authorized, had spent time on destroyers in the war zone, in combat missions, and was entitled to wear them. Others have indeed. That is the day he committed suicide. Now, various people in the Navy have said the Admiral was indeed authorized, had spent time on destroyers in the war zone, in combat missions, and was entitled to wear them. Others have said no. But my question is, was it proper for the National Security News Service, and then, I guess, Newsweek to follow up, to make this into a story? Or should it, is it one of those things that they just should have dropped? Listen, I've got something really weird, really strange, that I want you all to investigate for me and give me an opinion on. I stumbled into a very strange web page called EON-4. Eon, I guess you pronounce it, -4. And this is an extensive web page that claims we have made contact with extraterrestrials. And I'm going to read you a little bit of it. I know it's going to sound strange, but what I had Keith do was put a link up at the top of my webpage to EON-4 so that you can see it, so that you can make your own judgments about what is there. I'm going to read you a little bit of one of their statements to EON-4. We have made contact on August 13th, 1992, the META, that's Multi-Channel Extraterrestrial Array Radio Telescope at Harvard University, perceived a strong, narrow-band signal at 2840 megahertz. Unlike previous so-called events, this signal had an originating point less than 0.25 parsecs outside our own solar system. Observable distortion at this originating point led to the supposition this was the mouth of a radio-based Nexus navigator, spoken written reference, and then they go on and on and on. On October 20th, 1992, a full-fledged mathematics-based message was received from a highly advanced civil civilization situated at a far distant location in the universe. The first interaction between human scientific participants, and it claims basically that we have established communication with another life form. Now this may be total bunk, but if it is very carefully constructed total bunk and looks real. That's all I'll say. That all of this, they say, Eon 4 is a project ongoing at Area 51. That's right near me. So, what I would ask you to do is to go to my webpage, and courtesy of Keith, you will see at the very top a link to Eon 4. There is a classified area of it, and a supposed public area. Go in there if you would, please, and find out what the hell this is all about. If anybody can rip it apart, I mean, to me, it looks creative. But there have been very elaborate hoaxes certainly done before, and will be again. That it may be certainly may be a hoax, but it impressed me sufficiently to have you go and investigate. In addition, I sent the people at Eon 4 actually several pieces of email requesting an interview, and I would ask you to go in there, jump with the link, and go take a look at the complete text and the project. I mean, you've got project personnel listed and all kinds of things. It's incredible. You can only wonder what's on the classified side. So take a look. My website is www.markbell.com. Here's a kind of an interesting story from Toronto. A research team plans to exhume 7 bodies from, get this, permafrost in hopes of finding what caused a global epidemic that killed 20 million people in 1918 and 19. The 1918 epidemic was called Spanish fly at the time, but scientists didn't have any way to identify exactly what it was. Marked by sudden fever, chills, headache, malaise, muscle pain, pneumonia, and rapid death, it killed more people than all the fighting in World War I. The Canadian team believes the deadly virus might still be lurking in the lungs of the frozen bodies preserved in nature's deep freeze on a Norwegian Arctic island. They say special care is needed so the microbes don't revive once freed from their icy storage. Now, I wonder how many of you think this is a good idea. Here you've got one of the biggest plagues in history, and the scientists think they're going to dig some people up and get good, healthy samples of this horrible virus. Sounds like a plot from a science fiction book or something, doesn't it? All right, well, I'm not done. I've got more. I've got quite a bit on the Freemen this morning, so we'll get to that. Then we'll get the lines open, for it is unscreened, unpredictable, spontaneous talk radio coming up next.
This is Premier Networks. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere Inside.
In other words, yelling at each other, and they got nowhere. State Senator Duke walked out of one of the meetings. Apparently he's getting frustrated as well. Present 100 FBI agents, 22 people they believe inside, 3 children. Bo Wright spoke at the Ontario Airport Marriott Hotel in Ontario, California on Friday and talked some about freedom. Said it was, he tried very hard to convince them to surrender to avoid bloodshed. Said he thought Randy Weaver would have been good to have with him to show the Freemen what heartbreak and suffering they and their loved ones could experience if the standoff comes to a violent end. Mr. Greig says that a so-called Gang of 4 made everyone take holy oaths to remain in the compound, and that the oath would be violated if anybody tried to leave. So, some of these people are being, at this point, apparently held, he feels, against their will. Quite remarkable. That is a true story. Did anybody see the other segment on 60 Minutes? The Turner Diaries. All about Dr. William Pierce, the physicist turned radical. 200,000 copies have gone out so far. Now, the Turner Diaries would be a book that allegedly Timothy McVeigh regarded as his Bible. In it, the doctor, the good doctor, says we ought to get rid of all the blacks and the Jews in America in order to get back the America we have lost. It has become the Bible of the far extreme right. In one chapter of the Turner Diaries, a fictional character, militia person, drives a vehicle full of a fertilizer bomb into the FBI building, the basement of the FBI building in Washington, D.C., and blows it into little pieces. Kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it? The good doctor thinks, quote, if we don't like what we see, we should do something about it, end quote. He said, America, our America, is disintegrating in front of our eyes because of race mixing. Race mixing. He most admires Adolf Hitler, called blacks rapists, thugs, and cannibals, and theorized when the balloon goes up, blacks will be eating people, cannibalizing people. This was William Pierce, author of the Turner Diaries. What a strange, weird character he is. How many of you think America is disintegrating because of the mixture of races? Well, I've got a lot more, but not time for it, so I'll just leave it right there. That's plenty of food for thought, I suppose. So whatever you want to talk about is fair game. The lines are open. The numbers are as follows. First-time callers to the program. So whatever you want to talk about is fair game. The lines are open. The time for it. Weird character he is. How many weird eating people? Called blacks rapists, thugs, and cannibals, and theorized when the code 7 up because of the mixture of races. Weird character he is. How many of you think America is disintegrating? Rockies, it's 1-800-825-503618-8239. All right.
Kevin?
Yes, Kevin.
First of all, I wanted to find out what that was on the opening theme.
My opening theme?
Yeah, tonight.
Was a Midnight Express.
Ray, one of the big...
Yes, how you doing? You bet.
And...
You bet. Some sort of commercial
creative input on How to Write a Good Page. Creative input on How to Write a Good Page.
Well, I was surfing about and found it, and I've never seen...
And number 3, about what happened in Colorado.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sort of glad that we can now extend full citizenship to... And number 3, about what happened in Colorado.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sort of... that's here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his view. Give us our rights. Leave us alone. Me too. And if you have a comment, and I'll take that off the air, about the Ruby Ridge movie.
All right, thank you.
I have. The gays and lesbians won't be in our face so much.
Well, I wonder about that.
Well, there is a gay activist who has a weekly talk show here. The gays and lesbians won't be in our face so much.
Well, I wonder about that.
Well, there is a gay activist who has a weekly talk show here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his view from the gay community. And from the gay acquaintances the gay and lesbian acquaintances that I have, that seems to be what they want from the more moderate end. Just give us our rights, leave us alone.
Them alone.
Me too. And if you have a comment, and I'll take that off the air, about the Ruby Ridge movie.
All right, thank you. It was more or less...
Movie.
All right, thank you. It seemed concocted to... All right, thank you. It seemed concocted to... not serve the purpose of it concocted to that's the best way to put it. Not serve. Iraq now allowed to sell $1 billion in oil every 90 days for food and medicine. It should lower gas prices here in the U.S. We'll see. Do you think the $1 billion every quarter will actually end up going for food and medicine? That's a big question. First time caller line, you're on deep.
Hi, he visited South Lake when he was Hi, this is with. He visited South Lake Tahoe a number of years ago and spent about 3 days here and brought a submarine down. And his statement, he visited South Lake Tahoe a number of years ago and spent about 3 days here and brought a submarine down. And his statement, when he was finished, was that the world is not ready what I found. The world is not ready for what I found in Lake Tahoe.
You know, it's strange. I've heard a lot of stories about things being in Lake Tahoe. And I don't know what it is down there, but there apparently is something.
Many divers that go into Lake Tahoe will not dive there again because they say it's a very scary experience.
Yeah, well, it's also very cold.
Yeah.
I appreciate your call, sir. Thank you. Jacques Cousteau would be a lot of fun to have as a guest. Do you think he would open up and tell us what lies beneath the generally tranquil surface and very clear water of Lake Tahoe? Something down there. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art.
Yes.
Yes.
Turn your radio off, please.
Yeah, I did. Thank
There
you.
you are.
I wanted to find out if there's any relevance in ARCO advanced power technologies with their involvement, or they had been involved early on in the HARP project. That the purpose of their being involved more than anything else was to sell oil to the HARP project because it would involve only having to sell oil directly right there in Alaska rather than having to transport it any further away than absolutely necessary to reduce their cost to make maximum profit.
The last word I heard on HARP was that it had been at least temporarily shut down. Now,
Right.
I'm not sure that's accurate, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, the last that I had heard is that funding had been froze, but they had still gone ahead with testing and that. So where the money or funds came from, or whether they had funds left over in reserve from what had been approved and given to them in prior time, is the only thing I could figure, or whether private interest behind it is actually funding it to accelerate their program.
Yes, I'm not sure, and I can't tell you about Marco.
I see.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, sir, and have a good morning. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, how you doing, Art?
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Robert from Yuba City, California.
Yes, Robert.
Yeah, I got about 100 things I want to talk about, but 3 important ones.
All right.
Okay, first one is, I don't know if you heard about it, but here in California, in Yuba City, we had a guy kill an 8-year-old boy. I heard it on the news.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a registered sex offender. They let him out of prison.
Right.
Kind of makes me a little bit upset for the fact that they're letting sex offenders, child sex offenders, out, and they're putting people away for smoking marijuana. That kind of upsets me. I don't know how you feel about it personally. Second is that I think somebody in Pennsylvania took you up on your idea about poisoning the drugs.
Well, we've had reports of heroin.
Yeah, that bad heroin bag.
That's right.
Yeah. And the other thing, oh man, you were talking about it.
You forgot.
That guy that killed himself?
Yes, Admiral Borden.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, most people don't kill themselves by shooting themselves in the chest.
Well, that was my first take on it, too. It's unlikely.
Yeah, because it's going to kill yourself. There's much more positive ways of doing that. Especially when you're trying to point a gun back at me.
I would substitute effective rather than positive.
Okay.
Effective, yeah, as in blowing the top of your head off, of course. But I am fairly well satisfied that it was a suicide. You know what I'm interested in more than anything else? If you had been the one who got on to the story about the controversy regarding his wearing of the V medals, would you have pursued the story? Was it a legitimate story? Or do you think you would have regrets for having pursued that story in view of his suicide? West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hey, Art, how are you doing? This is Mark.
Hi, Mark.
I have a couple of comments about the chupacabra.
Yes.
I have two theories. One would be that the Mexican government is trying to do some kind of advertisement to take away some other ideas from the people down there.
Well, that is a theory that is ascribed to every big story that comes along, not just in Mexico, but here too.
Okay, I know my people. We are pretty. We believe too much sometimes in these kind of things and talk too much about it, but And my other theory is this could be something that some kind of animal that's living, close to in the center of the earth, closer to there.
And slowly coming up through holes and getting people, huh? Mr. Bell, I first heard of the chupacabra about 2 weeks ago. I'm a truck driver. I had returned home when my wife said that some goats had been attacked a couple of miles from our home. This was televised locally in San Antonio. At first I thought the animal, chupacabra, was a wolf. An animal. Was surprised to find out otherwise, mainly because I'd seen something that may have been this animal. I was leaving Wichita Falls, Texas, headed south on US 287. It was night. I barely left the city when I saw something descending into the light above the streetlights. I was scared at first because I thought it was a crop duster making a crash landing. Then I thought it was a hang glider. When it had descended into the light, I could see it was a bird. Let me tell you, it was huge. 15 to 20-foot wingspan. Looked kind of like an owl to me. But because I was trying to dodge the thing, I can't tell you for sure what the thing was. You might see if they had any goat sucking in that area in the last couple of months. That's from Harold. Harold, who saw a chupacabra, he believes. The reports continue to come in. Over the weekend, front page in the LA Times. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Yes.
Rob from Youngstown. I called you last week. I spent 16 days last year in Russia with the Russian family, and I covered 1,800 miles by train. What do you want to know?
Well, what do you want to tell us?
Well, the prices of most food and commodities are 80% of what they are here.
Apparently, that's still nearly 100% more than the Russian people can afford.
A Russian doctor makes $40 a month in equivalent, in rubles.
Yes, well,
My Russian friend's mother works full-time at daycare. She makes $21 a month, and 18 goes for rent.
well, okay, thanks. One of the doctors they showed on 60 Minutes made $120 a month. And they asked him, how can you live on that? He said the way all Russians do. Barely. We'll be back.
The trip back in time continues with Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM. More somewhere in time. Coast to Coast AM from May 20th, 1998.
And I've got a web bulletin for you. You've got to take a look at this. I don't know if it's a hoax. It may well be. I would imagine it is. If it isn't, it's big news. If it's a hoax, it's one of the more elaborate, well-done professional hoaxes I've ever seen. Go to my webpage on the net. That's www.artbell.com. There you will find a link at the top of the page to something called EON4, EON-4. You take a look and you tell me what you think. I took a look and it blew my mind. Here's a background. Art, EON4 is wild. I logged on when I saw your page this evening. The classified section is reached by an easy registration. Optional email updates available. The claim is we've sent an explorer team at the invitation of the alien sentients. This team has reached the vicinity of their world, but for the loss of the team leader. It's hard to know what to think of the site and its story. The line is something like a video game, but there's nothing to do but read and think. Woo! That's comment number one, and I'm sure we'll get more. Take a look. You let me know I found it. Hi, Art. I checked out the EON4 site. I don't know, but it seems like someone's sci-fi story presented in web format, and the Apple sponsorship adds to the suspicion. Still, even if it's not real, it's pretty cool. Thanks for putting it on your page. Mark Quesamo, San Francisco. Again, I reflect back on two 60-minute stories over the weekend that I thought were incredible. Finally, they're doing some good stuff here. The story on Russia was staggering. I'm going to Moscow in August, and after seeing it, I go with more trepidation than I had in the first place. That place is it's just disintegrating, actually. Now, the cruise that I'm going on is going to stop at St. Petersburg, and I'm going to go ahead and take it, which is beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and risk my neck and take the optional trip to Moscow, because I want to see it for myself. Boy, what they had on that show over the weekend. I wonder if you saw it. Also, the Turner Diaries. And the Turner Diaries appear to be the Bible for right-wing extremists, like Timothy McVeigh. There was a chapter in there about somebody who blew up a federal building, FBI building, with a fertilizer bomb by driving into the basement. This was in Washington, D.C. And it parrots the, or I should say, I guess, McVeigh's crime parrots this book almost chapter and verse, even down to the makeup of the fertilizer bomb. So they interviewed Dr. Pierce about his book. And basically, he would like to get rid of the blacks, Jews, and Hispanics in America and get back, in his opinion, what America has lost. I don't know what he means by that. I guess whitedom or something. At any rate, he says America is disintegrating because of racial mixing. How many of you agree with that? Said that blacks will become rapists, thugs, and cannibals. Unbelievable guy, and this is what a lot of people are following. Did anybody have... And this guy, by the way, is a physicist. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hiya.
Hello.
Out here in the Los Angeles area.
Okay, turn your radio off.
You know, something's happening here.
Where?
Well,
L.A.?
yeah.
What?
Well, you see, there's most of the news media here, the TV. There's so many murders. What's going on in L.A. County?
Yes.
They're watching all these stations and everything. I cannot keep track of them.
I know. Thank you. It's not just L.A. It's here, too. Watching the local Las Vegas coverage. You've got to wade through the murders at the beginning of the show each day. And it's quite a wade. Yet they say crime is down. Does it feel like crime comes down to you. Maybe it's just medium. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Turn your radio off.
Okay. I have a comment about the Chupacabra.
Yes.
I was looking. I play Dungeons and Dragons quite frequently, and I was reading on your webpage, and I happened to look at the picture of it, and flipping through the monster manual, I found a couple pictures that quite resembled the drawing that was sent to you. And I was wondering if you'd be interested in seeing them.
Yes, of course.
Okay. How would I go about getting them to you? Because I don't know if I can fax them or not because it is copyrighted material.
Oh, well, you really shouldn't. I can't advise you, sir, to transfer copyrighted material.
Okay. I can give you information on how to get the book.
All right.
It's by TSR Hobbies, and it's the Monstrous Manual. And on pages 370 and 371, there's two creatures that are used in the game, and combining the two together, you got your drawing that's on your website.
All right, I'll research it. All right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll take a look. I'm telling you, this Encore website is really weird. I sure would like to know who is behind that. Ostensibly, Apple is sponsoring it. I don't know whether that really means they are, or whether they're just using Apple computers. It's really hard to say. But somebody has gone to an awful lot of trouble, that's for sure. I really can't get over this Turner Diary business. I have not read the Turner Diaries. Have any of you? It apparently, the most amazing thing is, a Jew is going to publish it. He doesn't agree with a bit of it, but he's going to publish it. I think that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. This guy was frightened because he was obviously very intelligent. But then I guess in his own way, so was Hitler. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, Art Bell.
Yes, sir.
Only Art Bell could pry me away from Michael Reagan, one of your competitors, this late night. Actually, I'm calling from Clearwater.
Shouldn't be too hard. If Michael Reagan's on now, he's repeating.
That's true, yeah. We do find catching up page layout here.
Yep.
I have a couple of theories on your little arts parts there.
Oh, yes.
Now, they say the now, you'll have to pardon me for ignorance. I didn't take chemistry in school. That's public education for you, but if the parts are aluminum, you say that they're supposed to weigh 97 milligrams, but they actually weigh 160 something?
Yeah, in other words, they did initial testing, and they did spectrograph, they did electron scanning microscope and all of that, and it came back 99.9%, whatever it was, aluminum.
Right.
What they call 1100 aluminum in the industry. Now, the size is 6 millimeters by 6 millimeters by 1 millimeter thick. If it's 1100 aluminum, it should weigh exactly 97 milligrams.
All right.
But guess what? It weighs 160. Now, that's damn near double.
Right. I have a couple of theories. One of them is that if this aluminum is definitely from another world, it is quite possible that in this other world they have a different gravitational density, different atmospheric density, so that when they work with aluminum, when it's over there, everything works like it's supposed to. But when it comes over here, it weighs more because our gravity on Earth is more.
Well, look,
That may be one thing you can, one possibility.
anything is possible, sir, or there might be something else inside, but it would have to be a horrible alloy indeed. They cut one of them open, and they said it appeared to be aluminum throughout. If that's true, and if the center, which I have authorized to be tested, one destructive test, tests out to be 100% aluminum as well, then they've got themselves a most serious mystery.
Right, that's why I come up with this theory. Perhaps maybe that could explain it. If maybe a physicist is listening out there, they better explain that. Another theory possibly is that I also know that if you either take away or attach protons or neutrons or electrons to an element, their atomic structure stays pretty much the same, but there's a different volume and weight and mass.
Right.
And so you can come up with the same aluminum, but different atomic structure, and so it would weigh differently.
Right.
Possible?
Yeah, anything's possible. I appreciate the call, sir. Linda Howe called me up this last weekend, all excited. She said, can't be. She said the scientists went back and measured the pieces again to be very sure of what he was saying with regard to their size because of the relationship to the weight. And he came back puzzled. So now more tests must be done. And it may be that although it's unlikely, that it would be just a bad alloy. But there was not even one little molecular piece of an alloy detected in all the testing done on the outside. So we've got a real mystery here. We'll see, and I'll let you know. But the story continues and the plot thickens. West of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Monterey Dave, the economist.
Yes.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine.
Regarding your last caller, the specific gravity of the aluminum should not vary according to the outside temperature, air pressure, and gravitational pull. The molecular structure will still be the same.
Well, you would think so, and you would think the elements would be identical.
So on Earth, it should be identical to aluminum 1100, like you're saying. But when you go to Russia, regarding another topic, don't go near Chernobyl.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's 200 tons of uranium reactor fuel that's been melted into glass. And it's just like a heart of a monster, man. You go near there and that sarcophagus collapses.
Did you happen to see the coverage on this last Sunday of Russia?
No, I didn't, but I've been doing some work in that, and it's just appalling what's going on over there. There's incredible things. I mean, the Chernobyl disaster, just a little bit of that information is starting to leak out.
They should have had a revolution already there.
Yeah, they should.
Based on what I see here, this country should be torn apart.
Oh, yeah, and it is. We're going to be having a revolution here in Santa Cruz, in our mountain marine sanctuary. We had a Freeman boater standoff.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And
A boater with a handgun, right?
Or some kind of weapon, they said.
Well, handgun.
Anyway, like you've been fretting about with all your militia nutcases out there, well, what they're thinking, or you're afraid of it, they'd all come to his aid. Well, 50 boats surrounded this lone Freeman boater out there in the bay, and they turned back the Coast Guard. Can you believe that?
Yes.
And so they let him go, and they're probably going to track him down later and punish him, but at least he got away. And he's sitting there saying, don't come near my boat, or it's going to be like Waco. There's going to be flames and blood and on and on and on. You're not taking my gun.
Well, I don't think they wanted to take his gun. That wasn't the idea.
Well, they wanted to come on board when they threatened him. When he threatened them with use of weapons, then they said, well, you're going to, use your weapons, we're going to come on board.
Was he inside territorial limits?
Yes, he was in our marine sanctuary, and there was some dispute as to whether or not it was a Coast Guard jurisdiction. But the main factor is that 50 other fishermen's boats came around and surrounded him to such an extent that they outgunned and outmanned the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard had to turn tail and flee.
All right. Yes, that is all true. And at least the part about his turning them away is certainly true. Said, I'm sticking to my constitutional rights. Now, I don't really know what his constitutional rights are at sea, inside the limits. It seems to me if he would be subject to Coast Guard authority, that he would have to allow a boarding. I'm not really sure. I don't know enough about the laws of the sea to be able to tell you, but I do know he held them off. The story on 60 Minutes Sunday about Russia was one of the more unbelievable things I ever saw. I sat there with my mouth hanging open. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. How can this country not be in full-fledged revolution? And remember, this country, described on Sunday, still has 50,000 strategic, or at least nuclear weapons, with many of those being strategic, meaning they can push a button and 20 or 30 minutes later, nuclear hell rains down here. So you've got to bear that in mind as you look at the condition of Russia. Elections next month. The likely outcome, a return to communism. You don't hear many people saying much about it. But Boris Yeltsin is way far behind. He may be able to cut a deal, but barring that possibility, Russia may well go back to communism beginning next month. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art. This is Ed in Southern California.
Hello, Ed.
A couple of things. First, about those scientists wanting to dig up the bodies that were killed by the Spanish flu.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Not a good idea. We have enough problems, and if they happen to slip up, we're going to have even more. Sounds like. I know there's a disease out here called valley fever, and it's not that lethal, but whenever they dig up an old body in a graveyard here, sometimes it...
I mean, they're actually doing this so they can get to the lungs of these people thought to have died of this disease and revive this virus. Revive the virus, and suppose it got loose.
That's it. They can say, well, you know, it's going to be like the, I think it's Andromeda strain type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you had Brad Steiger on Saturday. I tried to reach you, but I couldn't.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday, okay. He had accompanying book, one of his books one time about the Forest of Lost Children. And that was about the Angeles Forest area here. About children that mysterious disappearances there. They said, believe something about the time warps, meaning the mountains here. So if anybody could give me more information on it, or did he have an address that people could write to?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And no, I don't have it handy, but I appreciate the call, sir. The Brad Steiger show on Dreamland Sunday was excellent. If you want a copy of it, or for that matter, the Mitchell Hoagland debate, or anything we do with a guest, or any Dreamland program, you can get copies by calling 1-800-917-4278. That's 1-800-917-4278. With regard to this plan to dig up these people frozen in the tundra with the 1918 epidemic that was called, I think they called it Spanish fly, not flu at the time. At any rate, they say it will, quote, be done with the greatest respect and dignity, adding that extreme safety precautions will be taken so the microbe will not be unleashed again. I'm still not convinced it is what I would call a good plan. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Going once.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, turn your radio off.
Okay, it's off.
That's good. Now speak.
Okay. I just had some information about the Russian topic.
Yes, sir?
And I'm an environmental geologist, and I've done some research on the subject and had a good book for him to read.
Really?
And,
well, him is me.
oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You're on the air.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
You're sorry to be on the air?
no.
Oh, okay.
Misunderstood.
Well, now you're at a break, so if you want to stay on the air, you're going to have to hold on.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, you won't hear anything during the break. Don't let it worry you. By the way, yes, we do have Vivian on this morning. You want to call and see me do the show? She's up and running.
Your network. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere in Time.
elections. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning. Hello. Yes.
I got a question about the chupacabra.
Yes, sir.
Anybody said what kind of noise it makes, or is it
Yes, they say it makes a very, very loud hissing noise, kind of like a jet plane almost.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. That's all I've heard. Chupacabra reports coming out from everywhere. Art, I just left the page for Eon 4. It is incredibly well done. Too well done for something like it to be real. It's pretty interesting that the current mission commander is supposedly a space shuttle astronaut / pilot. Should be easy to verify. That is, if it's a public mission of the lab. In the image archive, I'm a little concerned with the quality of the images transmitted back from the sentient location. They would presumably be sent digitally, but they show typical analog signal degradation, lines, etc. I don't believe that digital signals would be degraded in this manner. Conclusion: too slick to be the real thing. Tom. I agree, Tom. It is very slick. That's why I put the link in. I've never seen anything like it. Now, maybe it is some sort of slick, weird promotion for a movie. Maybe it's somebody's idea of a joke. Whatever it is, it's very, very well done. Yeah, you'll find it right at the top of my webpage. And I suggest you go take a look and tell me what you think. It is a project supposedly going on at Area 51, adjacent to me here. It is supposedly revealing to the world that we have made contact. Go take a look at Eon 4. East of the Rockies, you're on here, huh? Okay.
Mike from Central Texas.
Yes, Mike.
Listen, I really enjoyed, I love the Cornell interview that you did on Friday, or a couple Fridays ago.
Dr. Cornell, yes.
Yeah, I really thought it was great. Has anybody called in about the DCX rocket yet?
Oh, yes. I mean, people have commented on it. That's a rocket the doctor said was virtually designed in his living room.
Yeah, anyway, they did a test on it on Saturday. Did I call in about that? Okay. And then about the fire, and I just woke up on it.
You just woke up. Okay.
So, but I think it's incredible. I mean, you normally do got a fire, and or explosion that, that's it, you know. That's it, you know. But now it has become sort of a wink and a nod. You know, like, see, you know, just how good our design is. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Yes, very interesting indeed. I want to know more about that craft. East of the Rockies, you're on the air, top of the morning. Hello? Yes, sir, where are you? Baton Rouge, all right. Well, you're on the air. Turn your radio off. Get that radio off.
My name is Steve Lee. I'm from Rochester, Louisiana, State University. I graduated from summer and I went to law school. And after I get my law degree, hopefully in 3 years, I'm going back to Russia. And I believe that the future of Russia depends on people like me, not people who can't take care of themselves and they see you right on there.
Dimitri, did you see 60 Minutes on Sunday?
Right.
Did you hear what I said about it, though?
Yes, I heard.
It is far worse than anybody thought. I mean, it's really the suicide of the country.
Well, I don't think it's that bad. Journalists, they tend to look for facts they can find, you know.
Well, they sure found some bad ones.
Oh, yeah, because the people involved can be good, especially live very well.
Yes, I know that is true in St. Petersburg, but that is also because of the tourism there. The question is about the rest of the country, and specifically about Moscow. Well, they showed a number of the hospitals in Moscow. They gave us stats about how many Russians are dying versus those being born. There are now 2
relatives, they all live in Rockland. I talk to them every week, and they actually are very optimistic. My father is a lawyer, and he says the situation is getting better every day. The business life is reviving, and many people are actually better off now than they were during the communism. Especially those people who can work, who are willing to work. Unfortunately, the welfare system that existed during the communism era in the former Soviet Union, it actually destroyed people that desire to work hard, to earn hard, right? So the people in the United States, they...
Well, yes, we know that. Believe me, we know what communism did. But it looks now like the election next month will bring a communist back.
Well, you said that the Yeltsin is trailing to go pretty badly, but as far as I know, he's ahead in all polls, 1 or 2 points ahead in almost every poll.
That is not true.
That is not true?
That is not true.
Well, in this case, well, I don't know what to say, since my mother told me...
Sir, Mr. Yeltsin is in single digits.
Maybe you're thinking about Mr. Gorbachev now. Mr. Gorbachev is really in single digits.
No. Mr. Yeltsin is in single digits.
That's big news to me.
All right, well, I'm sorry to be the one to have to give it to you, but it is true. And right now, the communist is way out ahead. What Mr. Yeltsin is trying to do is to make a deal, put together some sort of a coalition government. Whether that'll come off or not, who knows? If half of what they said on 60 Minutes was true about Russia, that nation is teetering on the edge of complete disaster. Now, there's nothing like seeing for yourself, and I am going to go there, and I'm bound and determined to see for myself. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello. Yes.
My name is Elizabeth. I call from WSBR, Sterling, Illinois.
Well, welcome.
I called you before. How about Russia? My husband was in Russian prison. My father was in Russian prison during the Second World War, after the Second World War.
Yes.
It is absolutely true. Communism is coming back. My husband never talked about listen because he couldn't hear terrible nightmares.
I'm sure he did.
And he told me he only remembers one thing before he died. And communist is a communist, and he always will be a communist, and Russia wanna stay communist no matter what they tell you.
All right, well, I happen to believe you. I believe Do you?
Well, you take a look at the symbol of the European Union, which is a woman sitting on the I don't need to have a house to follow me to realize this is a prophecy unfolding right in front of our eyes.
And so what are you going to do about it?
Have a closer relationship with my God.
In that case, you'll be in when the time comes. Many will be in. Right? Because that's all you can do. Everybody has to do their own individual thing. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello. Hello. Ruben. I can barely hear you, Ruben.
Is this right?
Yes.
This is Ruben in San Antonio.
Right.
Yeah, I had a few things to talk about.
Talk.
One of them was the Chupacabra.
Yes.
Yeah, I was with that guy that called last week. He was talking about it might be from Brazil, burn down the rainforest, something they let go.
Something that came out of the rainforest, yes.
Yes.
Or these swamps in Puerto Rico. Who knows?
And the other thing was, you read the Bible?
Yes.
In the Bible, can you find any place that ever says anything about dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs. I know, but you can find areas where it talks about unusual, weird creatures that will be about in the final days. One might put the Chupacabra in such a place. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Oh, Mark, this is Patrick in Portland, Oregon.
Hi, Patrick.
Turn on my radio here.
Yes.
Yeah, couple of things. I've discovered your show in the last couple of weeks, and it's a terrific show.
I've had more people saying that to me that they found it in the last 2 weeks.
Actually, I discovered it via your website.
Ah.
Yeah, I've been connected with other connections from other websites.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, anyway.
Be sure to go up there and look at this job form. Let me know.
Okay, I'll have a quick look at it. Usually when I see something like that, that's probably fictional, masquerading as true, I usually kind of...
Well, that may be, but at least take a look.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, nice to hear. Really enjoyed the debate between Hodel and Edgar Mitchell. Do you have any idea when they'll be back on again together?
Well, Richard is now on the way to England, and Dr. Mitchell has received some new material, so when he has digested those...
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, good. And second, regarding the death of Admiral Boredom.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you were a journalist, and you got on to that story, would you run it or not?
I think I would, but first of all, I think this question we're focusing on now of whether or not they should have pursued the story and aired it kind of presupposes that he did indeed commit suicide. You said you were fairly satisfied that he did.
Yes, I am.
I don't, of course, claim to know for sure one way or the other, but
Well,
I am doing that not.
yes, before you make an allegation otherwise, do you have one scintilla of proof that it was not suicide?
Right.
Do you?
No, I do not, and I'm aware of that. One thing I would wonder about, I know they've been reporting that there were two suicide notes that you left.
All right, one for the enlisted men.
Right, and of which a part has been made public.
Right.
The other one hasn't been read from at all. Hasn't been made public. One thing I would like to know is whether those notes were written in his own handwriting, or whether, on the other hand, they were typed, or perhaps written out in all caps, something like that. If they were typed, were they signed? I mean, I would certainly be satisfied that, if it was clear that they were written in his own handwriting.
Well, what would make me suspicious is if we found in one of them a paragraph that said, and by the way, I cannot believe the innocence of the Clintons. Well, thank you. I have no reason to believe it's anything but a suicide. Now, what I am slightly suspicious about is that there may be more to it. we lost. A man who believes that America is disintegrating because of racial mixing. What I would like is somebody who agrees with Mr. Pierce. And so if you agree with Mr. Pierce and these two statements that I just gave you, that are attributed to him, call me at area code 702-727-1222. If you sincerely agree, if you are a student of the Turner Diaries, then I want to hear from you. Everybody else, hold off on that line. I'm going to be screening calls during the news to get somebody willing to argue in a debate, somebody who agrees with the Turner Diaries. If that's you, call me now at 702-727-1222, and we will have a debate. Be right back.
Back in time continues with Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM. More somewhere in time.
Actually, it's a fiction that unfortunately today appears either people aren't listening or paying attention or something or what. Again, on that line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I agree with it.
You do?
Yeah.
And you're willing to argue, though, on the air?
You betcha, give us a
All right. What is your first name?
Douglas.
Douglas. Okay. Douglas, you're on. Hold on a second while I find somebody to debate you, all right?
Okay.
All right, that's Douglas, and he agrees with the statements made in the Turner Diaries. Now we're going to screen calls and find somebody who radically disagrees, and we will then have a debate. And let me see, do you disagree with the Turner Diaries statement? You do. Where are you?
I'm calling from California.
And what is it you disagree with?
I disagree with the racial aspect of it.
You do. You don't think we ought to get rid of
I don't think that there's a problem.
you don't?
No.
All right, let's find out why Douglas thinks they are. Douglas, you're on the air, and what is our other caller's name? Curtis. It's Curtis and Douglas. All right. Be my guest. The air is yours.
Okay. What is your problem with the racial aspect that we're talking about here from the South?
There's no need to be antagonistic. It's not my problem. If you're kind of cast aspersions upon me, make this an ad hominem argument.
Okay, well, he hasn't said anything to you yet.
But what he said was, what is your problem?
Oh, I see.
So I'll tell you, if you ask me what my thesis is, I'll tell you what it is. It's Darwin's theory. 100 years ago, not only Darwin, but nearly all of his prominent contemporaries agreed that there was a superior race, the white race. And there's scientific reasons, there's all kinds of theories. Myself, before I read this just recently, I thought there might be some reason. And it seems to me there could be many reasons. One of the reasons is that the people in Northern Europe had to be brighter to survive. By comparison, in Africa, where perhaps the weather doesn't change, and we're talking about the paradigms here, one only needs to learn how to hunt to survive. In the winter you hunt, in the summer you hunt, in the spring you hunt, in the fall you hunt. By comparison, in Northern Europe, in the summer you hunt, in the winter you die, unless you're a little bit brighter than that. I think by long-term action of this sort of activity, we got weeded out. This is Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. And I've studied the history of this country. There are some trends, and they are observable in the larger cities like Los Angeles.
Sir, it sounds like you have a psychological problem. It sounds like you have too much time with your head.
This sounds like an animal.
What's the problem?
You got an animal.
First of all, I'm from Generation X. I'm young. I'm only 27, and I don't see racism. I don't see color. I don't. You're from a different generation than I am, obviously, and you're probably the way you were raised. But however, you're
This theory the last 2 years.
we always know from right to wrong.
All right, now wait a minute. One at a time, or we can't hear anybody.
I only developed this theory in the last 2 years. I'm telling you again, let's not make this an ad hominem argument. Don't attack me. I must be wrong.
You have a psychological problem. You're
You
saying
don't know about my psychology. That's an ad hominem argument. I just don't know what that is.
check yourself.
What?
You check yourself. Okay, you heard me. I'm not stuttering. Am I stuttering? I don't have a psychological problem. First of all, I don't see racism in this country. I don't see why this country can't work together. I don't know why this country thinks it takes steps back.
Hold it. One at a time. Let him answer. You said you don't see why the races can't work together in this country. How do you answer that?
They can work together in this country. That's not the issue. The issue wasn't can races work together. The question is, should they be sent out to make this country better?
Who's going to make that decision? You ain't making that decision.
The question wasn't that wasn't the issue. Who should make the decision?
Who's in charge
The
here?
issue quite clearly. Should they be moved out? I say yes, they should.
Should they be moved out? Well, you know what? You're not making it to us. Well, that's not going to happen. So you might as well use it.
That wasn't what our asked.
Well, how we move them out? We don't have
No, he's really quite correct. That is the premise of the Turner Diaries, that blacks, Hispanics, and Jews be moved out of America.
I understand that.
about Asians? That's a fair question to answer.
Our premise was, should blacks answer the question?
Yeah, no, it is fair that he asked that question. I think it's a reasonable place to go with this discussion. What about Asians? No, I think that it is a fair question.
Oh, but it's a change of issue. If you're saying change of issue, then we'll go on to different issue.
No, fine. If you can't answer it,
I
then
can't answer it.
What?
Change of
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Asians do score better. Yes, that's right.
They're also ethnic.
So what?
They're also ethnic.
Yes, that's right.
They fall under, first of all, I'm black. They fall under the same category as black and Hispanic. I mean, Asian. You know,
They're different race.
what?
They're different race.
Excuse me, we're all the same race. We're the human race.
They're all the same race. We're all the same species.
We're all the same species. We're just,
That's right.
we're the same species, but we're just different races. But I don't see why we can't work together as a collective.
Nobody said we couldn't work together.
You have a psychological problem, sir.
You're repeating yourself.
I'm not reading up. You're not
Yes, you've already said that about 4 times.
Well, why don't you commit it to memory? Why can't you not answer my question? Why can't we work together? What's the difference? I think the difference is the first topic that your environmentally and race.
We could work together.
First of all, you know from right and wrong. You heard me know right and wrong. You're not better than me or anybody else. Your blood is red. You breathe air. My hell, you're better than anybody else. Mom, she's a complaint at me. I think you're misinterpreting history from your ancestors, from your plantation owners. I think you just want to just make yourself feel as though you are, black race and blah, 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 blah. You need to get over it, okay? Check yourself. You're not better. If the roles were reversed and the black race was here first and thought, Caucasians here enslavement did, I would probably have the kind of ugly attitude that you have now, you see?
You know, your arguments on the show demonstrate your inferiority right there. What is the question?
Why can't we work together?
I've already answered that. You missed the question. Nobody said we
You
couldn't.
didn't answer it.
Well, let's try another question. Why is it that you believe the white race is superior?
Why is that? Why is I believe that? Yeah, well, first of all, the scores for university admissions are a good indicator. Now, if you say, why do I think whites are superior to Asians, even though they get poorer test scores on the average?
Yeah, that's a good one. Why?
There's another problem besides intelligence. Genetic behavior comprises many factors, but the Asians tend to be genetically predisposed to herd instinct, which means they tend to be communists, which means they're not individualists. One of the things that made this country great is individualism. In fact, the primacy of the individual is what distinguishes our government from many other governments. That is, although most governments say what is best for the group is what we shall have, in this country we say, well, it's going to do what's best for the group, but we're not going to count the individual. That's what makes the white race genetically better than Asians who may score on the average higher on the SAT score. But I submit that they don't score on the average higher. What we see is that the higher scores are from Asians because they flood the market. And there's a bias because the brighter Asians come to this country, so it's a skewed distribution.
I disagree with that. You said individually. I think we can appreciate everyone on the spectrum individually. Everyone has the capability of being intellectually superior, whatever you want to call it.
Not everyone can be superior.
All right, we have now in America, I believe, about 14% of black population, somewhere between 10 and 14%, I believe. What would you say should be done with these black people?
Well, there's the rub. There is the problem that requires a solution that I can't come up with off the tip of my tongue. Given some time, if you ask me and to come back tomorrow night with a solution for that, I can give you a solution.
All right, fine. Then let's move on to the second one. Blacks and Hispanics and other races are intermarrying with whites. What would you do about that?
It's a difficult situation when you have freedom. people have to be free to do what they want. Here's a way to handle that, though. The way to handle that is to correct a couple of the problems that our forefathers gave us. And actually, they didn't give us this problem. You correct that by turning this into a meritocracy rather than a democracy. And that is, you allow people to vote by how intelligent they are. And that makes sense. Take somebody somebody whose intelligence you admire, who's widely admired for their intelligence. Maybe they should get more votes than a person who is developmentally disabled.
Wait a minute. You're acting disabled. You didn't respond to my question. My question was, how do you stop the racial mixture that's going on?
That is the way you stop it. Because people will know that if they are not as bright, they won't be able to have as much say in the government. So they'll be disinclined to diminish their intelligence by marrying into an inferior race.
Inferior race. So you really believe that?
Yes.
I think people that think the way this gentleman thinks are a very small percentage in this country. I think this man has too much time on his hands. I think you ought to open up your eyes and take a good look around you at God's green earth.
It was only when I opened up my eyes that I developed this theory. For most of my life, I didn't have this theory.
So what changed it?
Yeah, I'm curious too.
I came to the Los Angeles area and saw how basically governments are disproportionately staffed. If you go into the United States District Court, for example, in Los Angeles, for the Central District, it's almost all black women. If you go into other courts in Los Angeles, you'll find they're disproportionately staffed by black women, sometimes the other minority groups who seem to be in clusters. This is part of the group thing. This is part of the herd instinct, and it's not healthy. You also find out that when you have bad policies in government, they're widely followed by these people who don't stand up and think for themselves. And I can give you one good example: car insurance. A lot of less intelligent people tend to be more inclined to buy the insurance if they can afford it, if they can barely afford it, and they are insurance poor for that reason. When actually poor people do not need car insurance, because if poor people get in a car wreck, all they have to do is do a bankruptcy, and they don't have to pay the judgment anyway. This simple truth is not understood. They think that they're smart to buy insurance. Is only smartly purchased by people who have assets they can lose by bankruptcy.
Yeah, but this poor person's theory that you're applying applies to all the races. There are whites that are poor, that live in a culturally dense area of Los Angeles. They can buy this insurance or whatever you're talking about and file Chapter 7 or bankruptcy. How do you explain that?
Well, you missed my point.
I don't think you ever threw your point.
Well, I'll tell it again because you missed it.
No, you need not repeat it. I don't see how it necessarily applies to this, and if it does, then as the caller points out, there are poor white people, Hispanics, and blacks.
Well, you missed my point, and I'll tell you what it is because you obviously missed it. The point is that those policies that you have to buy insurance tend to become matters of law in areas where people don't even know the merit of a free market system. This is the group instinct that I'm talking about.
What does that have to do with race?
Because white people have less group instinct than Asians.
I see. All right. Well, thank you both very much, but that's enough of that, I guess. And that tells you the reasoning behind this kind of thinking. Actually, that does it too much of a favor. is that we should get rid of the blacks, the Hispanics, Jews, get America back to where it used to be. Get back what we have lost, he says. That America is disintegrating because of race mixing. If you agree with that, then I definitely would like to hear from you. And I'm going to hold one line open for people who believe that exclusively. Tell you what, let's try it again. We've got a couple of gentlemen on here. Number one is a gentleman who believes the white race should rule. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your first name?
Jim.
Jim, and where are you, Jim?
I'm in Michigan.
You're in Michigan. All right, Jim. I'm going to bring on somebody else now from the state of Texas, way down in Odessa, I believe. What is your first name?
I'm Paul.
Paul. All right. The subject is the Turner Diaries. Gentlemen, or at least the subject material in them. The air is yours.
Well, let me start out by saying that, first of all, I have to say that I believe in God, and I have to say that I think God loves all people, whether they're white or black, equally. And what I'm talking about here is I would like to see a society where everyone has the most, the best chance at, you know, good health care, prosperity, housing, that kind of thing. And the way I believe that we get there is an exact opposite direction of where our country has been headed. I would like to go back to the days of literacy tests. I would like to see, basically, it would come down to almost well, what we had in this country when this country was started was only white, male, Christian property owners could vote. And I dare say that if we had that today, that blacks in this country would be 100 times better off.
Okay, can I interrupt you and ask you something? Oh, wait, where are you from? Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay, are you part Polish?
No.
Are you part Irish?
I'm European American.
European American.
Several mixtures.
So what gives you the right to say what you're going to my country?
Well, I don't understand your point.
You're a foreigner yourself. What are you talking about?
Okay, so are you a foreigner?
In our country when you're a foreigner.
Are you a foreigner?
Well, of course I am.
Well,
I don't understand. Trying to tell people how to run the country either. I'm trying to say get along with everybody.
First of all,
God created everybody. He did create everybody equal, okay? So here we are equal.
I agree with that. And I do not want to have a repeat of the conversation that we just heard,
right,
which was low IQ and antagonistic.
Right. No. The thing about it is a person, white, black, green, purple, or indifferent, if they think they're better than somebody else, then they're going to be treated worse. Simply. Okay? In my neighborhood, we have black people that say they're equal to white people, but yet they continuously single themselves out with the Black Entertainment Network and the Black Chamber of Commerce and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and this and that and the other. But, you know, that's my question, is why they continuously single themselves out. I look at everybody as equal. My brothers and my sisters. If my sister married a black man or a Hispanic man or something like that, hey, it's great, you know.
Well, I'm not sure, but I believe that possibly art is mistakenly misrepresenting the author of the Turner Diaries
No, I'm not.
opinion.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not.
Well, no, when you said get rid of them.
That's exactly
what he said.
That's what I
watched it.
Yeah, so did I.
Well, I taped it and watched it, you know, more than once.
Then go watch it again, because in fact, that's what 16 Minutes said. Is this a representation of what you want and what you believe? And he said yes.
Yep.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Well, do you agree that there should not be a racial mixture, that the races should not mix?
I guess half of me should go back to Ireland, the other half should go back to Germany.
No, I believe in freedom. Also, I just think that I would like to go back to a literacy test, and you know the Pew Charitable Trust.
What you said at the beginning of this conversation was you believe whites should rule. Your words.
Yes, I believe that if whites were ruling, things would be better off for everyone.
That's right. White male property owners.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
White male Christian property owners.
That leaves me out.
I'm not embarrassed of saying that. I'm prepared to defend that.
Defend it.
Please.
Well, look, this is the white male Christians, with their worldview, gave us the Constitution, gave us a constitutional republic of limited government, low taxes, and individual rights.
Yes, but did they give it to white male Christians only?
No, they gave it to everyone, including slaves, including blacks, who 11 out of the 13 colonies originally wanted to get rid of slavery. It was only South Carolina and Georgia that wanted to keep it. And we fought a civil war over that, and a lot of white men shed their blood freeing the slaves. And I don't make any apology to black America for that. Plus, you got to keep in mind that most of white America came here far after the Civil War. We had huge immigration into this country between 1870 and 1930, 1940. Huge waves of immigration from Europe. Most people weren't even, their ancestors isn't even in America during the time of slavery. There's no apology whatsoever. I don't believe in reparations. I don't believe in affirmative action. I don't believe in any of that garbage. And I believe that blacks would be better off if we had a government such as our founding fathers created.
Michigan?
Yes.
What if say the Pueblo or the Cheyenne or the Indian nation got together and said, okay, everybody that's not a Native American, go back to where you came from?
Well, then they'd have to go back to where they came from.
They came from here.
No. They came across the Alaska. They're basically from the Orient.
Oh, really?
Originally, yeah.
Well, and I guess Chris had a whole bunch of surprises when he landed here because, the way I understand it is the Indians, the Native Americans, populated the land, and they landed at Plymouth Rock, and they said, move over, and ended up over on Alcatraz.
Well, look, you only have two choices. I mean, either you believe in creation or you believe in evolution. And
all right.
Well, now that's a whole other ballgame.
It sure is. Yeah, it sure is.
The difference between black
I know,
and
but...
white.
Let me stop you both. Let me stop you both for a second and ask this. You said you believe whites should rule, correct?
Yes.
All right. You also said there should be an intelligence test to vote.
Correct.
Okay. Suppose black scored or Hispanic scored very high on the intelligence tests. Should they be allowed to be part of the, quote, ruling class?
Absolutely, even blacks. As I said, I mean, Art, I'm a conservative Christian right-winger. I am not, in agreement with, these racist, like these identity Christians.
Well, then you misrepresented yourself when you said you agreed with the Turner Diaries.
No, I said I believe the country would be better off if whites were ruling. And I said that I thought that's what the author of Turner Diaries was advocating. I didn't think he was advocating,
Then obviously you missed the program then.
Excuse me, would you step aside? Would you take the same test that this black man is given, and if he scored higher than you, would you step aside and get on the boat and leave?
Well, I would absolutely let him vote and me not vote if I failed the test.
All right. Well, in that case, then you misrepresented yourself, sir, when you came on the program. I'm going to do it again until we get it right here. Is there anybody out there that agrees with the statements in the Turner Diary? That's what we're after. And believe me, when I give you these quotes, I am giving you an accurate representation of what was said on that program. Believe me. Hello there, you're on the air.
I'm not going to talk about what that man wanted to talk about. I asked you to ask any of your people one question. They keep arguing black. They keep arguing Christian. Well, what group are they going to put the Jewish people in?
I don't know. Thank you for the call. Look, that line now is for one thing only. I hope you all are listening. It's for one thing only. Somebody out there who agrees with the Turner Diaries and wants to argue that. And whatever logic can be mustered behind it. That's what that line is for. If that's you, call it. 702-727-1222. If it's not, don't. On that line, you're on the air.
Yeah, I wanted to argue the point about the Turner Diaries.
You agree?
Yes, I do.
You agree that blacks should leave America?
That's right.
All right. What is your first name?
Dale.
And where are you, Dale, just out of curiosity?
Cottage Grove, Oregon.
All right. Stand by. I'm going to put you on hold, all right?
All right.
All right. There's Dale, who obviously agrees with the Turner Diaries. Let's get someone now who does not. If that is you, call now. All right, here we go again. This is Dale, somewhere up in Oregon, right, Dale?
Yeah.
All right, and your debate partner is going to be Shirley. And Shirley, where are you?
I'm in Oregon also.
Okay, 2 Oregon callers. You heard what Dale believes. The air belongs to the 2 of you. The subject matter in the Turner Diaries.
Go ahead, Dale.
Okay. Basically, I look at it this way: is my forefathers, the white man came over from Europe, and they started everything that based this country. And I mean, they started the government and everything else. They got everything rolling in motion. The blacks were brought over here as slaves and to work on the plantations and the farms and such. And so as the Asians or the Spanish or whatever you want to call them, basically it comes down to the point that the white kept in control all the way up until the point of where the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, and which released the blacks and gave them their freedom. Well, at that point, everybody seemed to start being more relaxed on the idea of blacks being free, or Asians being free, or Hispanics being more free into the community and into the people. But there was still racism, and it comes all the way up until today. My point, basically, and my whole belief on that is, if it weren't for them, everybody being more relaxed towards the freedom of all the different races and stuff, the United States would be more in control. I believe that they should all be put back. That's what makes Africans from Africa and Asians from Asia and so on and so forth. It was the white males who got the guts to come over here.
In other words, everybody black or Asian or whatever ought to be sent home, right?
That's right.
Okay, I hear you. And where would you go home to?
Well, my forefathers came over to this country from England.
And mine came from England and Ireland and Scotland and Wales and France and etc. But one of us met the boat. One of us met the boat when it came over here. So I belong here more than you belong here. My point is that it has been probably the white race that has gone so far with technology that we have made the smokestack, we have made the atomic bomb, we have polluted the rivers, the streams, the oceans, and after our alabaster selves have outsmarted ourselves out of existence, it won't be particularly the white man. It will be the wily, the wise, and the tough who survive after the white man and his technology has ruined the world.
No, where the point lies is our forefathers brought the blacks over here as slaves and the Asians and so forth. Well, once they started getting more freedom and everything started becoming a little more lax, them being in the community and them being in the surrounding and getting more opening,
I heard you say that before.
Right. What happened was it created a population mass, and with that much opening of freedom for different cultures, everything started getting swamped here, and that's where it started coming more abundant. People started rushing in over here because there was more openness, there was more freedom as far as the government. Everything was more lax.
That was wrong?
Yeah, that was really wrong.
The freedom
my
was
grandfathers and my great-grandfathers came over here and busted their rear to create all this just so that they can let it lax so everybody else can help take it over? No, I don't think so.
That mine came over for freedom. Mine stayed in Holland for a while and learned some mighty truth from Holland. We didn't learn everything from the English. And came over here and busted their butts, as you say, to make freedom, to believe in our Constitution, to believe that men are created equal. And you don't believe that people are created equal then.
That's right.
And so I just think you have a basic.
Where my understanding lies is they might be created equal in a sense that they're created equal in their country. My great-grandfathers and everybody created this one. And I don't see where it's right for everybody to come over here and take the advantage of their creation and run with it. Why can't they do that in their own countries?
Because this is their country. They were born here. Many people of other races were born here. And what about you? What about my ancestor who met the boat? This was her country.
Okay. So.
But she isn't white.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not sorry. I'm just tremendously proud.
Okay. Well, I mean, more power to you. That's about all I can say.
Well, that
you know,
as
far as the interracial mixing and everything else, you know, if there's any interracial mixing, you know, send them too. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's just not right. That's what separates different cultures. That's what makes English English. That's what makes Africans Africans and Asians Asians and so on and so forth.
So let me get this straight. Anybody who is interracially mixed also ought to go.
Yeah.
And you don't feel that gives us some strength, some new blood?
No, not at all. Because that's what's supposed to make us different in the beginning. There's no reason to mix it all together.
Are you afraid of the mixing?
I don't see it as afraid. I see it as I don't want nothing to do with it.
Well, you don't have to.
To me, it makes me sick. You know,
well,
I can't see the comprehension of it.
You have a virus. I feel sorry for you. You said that. I do. I truly do.
No,
I think you're missing the big picture.
Listen, you two. I've got a news break coming up.
Okay, I'm through.
I think we are,
okay.
and so I thank you both. And I rather think that perhaps we all have a virus. And as you all know, not one virus has yet been cured. We'll be back.
This is Premier Network. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere in Time.
movie or something. But what if it's real? So what do I really think? I don't know. It was so swiftly done that I just wanted you guys to take a look at it. So far, what everybody who's looking is saying is holy smokes and wow and things like that. So you take a look and let me know. There's a link from my page. You go to my webpage. It's Eon-4, EON-4. And it is the damnedest thing you've ever seen. You can get to it from my webpage. Go to www.artbell.com. And from there, you'll see a link. Jump over, take a look. It, I guarantee, will blow your mind. You're on the air.
Yeah, well, David was bringing up the subject about the Indians and how we pushed them around with a long overdue subject. It was kind of ironic how everything pretty well originated from Europe, but at one time Alaska and Russia was connected. Saying that we are all supposed to be one, we have I guess what I want to say is this country is pretty well composed of an example of what the world is like. It's a very warlike species we are. We've come a long way since the barbaric times, when the Vikings and the Danes were plundering
well, you couldn't tell us by the last 2 hours.
Well, it typifies the human nature. What I mean by we've become more civilized, we have football games and the like instead of gladiators. If we survive long enough to get a little bit better, we'd better be real nice to the aliens when they land and not ask them for their green card or shoot at them because their technology is going to be so much more superior than ours.
All right, sir. Well, I guarantee we will shoot it. I absolutely guarantee it. Sausage came down, we would shoot it. How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? We would fill them so full of lead, they couldn't get back to their spaceship. They'd be weighed down in lead. This story just in from L.A. A 14-year-old girl faces attempted murder charges for allegedly putting, get this, rubbing alcohol in her 9-month-old brother's formula. Los Angeles police arrested the girl Friday evening at the family's residence. I won't get the street. In Los Angeles. The baby vomited the tainted formula, was taken to Martin Luther King Jr. Drew Medical Center, where he was in stable condition on Saturday. The teenager had been asked to prepare the baby's formula by the mom, who then unwittingly fed the toxic mixture to the baby. Police said they don't know why the girl, who is in custody right now, the juvenile detention center, might have done such a thing. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Would have been. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hello.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you know, I'm not this is Mike from Glendale.
Yes, Mike.
790.
Okay.
How you doing? Yeah, I was going to say, you know, I'm not stringing up non-white with a rope, and I think that guy needs to seek psychiatric attention. But, you know, I'm not for denying the color of my skin either. And it's interesting that everybody who talks against, you know, discussing, you know, I see...
Nobody is asking you to be in denial.
Well, I heard everybody talking. It was like, I look at all the other ethnic groups in America, and they talk about themselves, you know, 600 Mile or Martin Luther King Day. It's like, the black people in America, they are a people. The Mexican Americans, they are a people. Their own culture. I don't see anybody in the white community saying, we are a people. We have, you know, we have to recognize that, you know, we are a people in this country, whether we like it or not, and just trying to just pass it off as an individual thing, like, well, I'm just a white individual. I've got nothing to do with anybody else, except for on an individual basis. while every other culture runs around saying, we are our people. I think that's insane, and I think that's what's bringing this country down. And it's not being against anybody, in my view.
All right, well, look, there is nothing wrong with being proud of your race. Nothing wrong with it. I'm very happy being a white person. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is the hatred in this country right now. There's more of it, not less. That's what the last couple of hours showed. And sadly, I could have gone on and on and on. Believe me, I could have gone on. There's so much hatred. There's more, not less. We are supposed to be advancing, raising our consciousness in this country. I see, I'm sorry, evidence that it's going the other way. What I call the quicken. And if the last 2 hours didn't prove it, I don't know what will. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hello? You're on the air.
I'm on the air.
On the air. Isn't that what you wanted? Good. Then you have succeeded. You're on the air.
Oh my goodness. Okay. My name's Beverly.
Hi, Beverly.
Hi. I'm in the city here.
Okay.
KDEQ.
No, KCMO.
KCMO.
Attitude.
What's an attitude? Well, that's kind of like what I've got. With, I guess it would be just black. You know, not Jews or not Hispanic.
No, you've got an attitude just about black?
Yeah, because like,
What is your attitude here?
Well, I sort of like tried to deny it for a while, but I've been like robbed several times and at gunpoint and beaten over the head with a gun and my money taken, and I had to have metal staples put in my head to close the wound. My parents have been robbed and, you know, like the house cleaned out several times, and they were black, you know, and I kind of have this problem that maybe, you know, in most prisons, they're sort of pretty much full.
Disproportionate number of blacks?
I think so. That's what I've heard. I don't know if
So what would your solution be?
I don't know that I have one, really. I mean, I'm sort of, you know.
No, I don't think that's the kind of attitude KCMO's talking about.
I don't think that people should be strung up, though.
You don't?
Or put out of the country, but I think there's a definite problem.
Well, there's a problem, certainly with crime, yes. There's no question about it. But again, so that we don't mix this up, I don't think that was the kind of attitude KCMO meant. They meant to talk with attitude. Well, we'll just keep moving. You're on the air, coast to coast, and with our guide.
I'm just calling to see what your fax number is.
My fax number? Area code 702-727-8499. 8499. And there is a 3-page limit.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
All right.
Love you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. See you later. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Well, Art, I've been listening, and I am shaking my head.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, this is Mike in Blair, Nebraska.
Yes, Mike.
Not only is the hate scary, it's hate that calls itself true Christian that is really scary.
I know. And there's more of it. There's more of it, arguably, today than there was 5 years ago.
Well, I think so. And I'll tell you, this guy, like the guy you had on debating several people, calling himself the true Christian.
Oh, yes.
I don't see how he doesn't get the Christ message of unconditional love. Unconditional, meaning no condition of what religion you are.
No, I think his conditional love is that he would love to have people go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, and to suggest hanging people, even his white brethren, because they sympathize with somebody.
The day of the rope it was called.
Yeah, and Christ would never align with any kind of thinking like that. And it's an insult to the people who are Christians that this guy comes on and calls himself a true Christian. I think it's just really, really scariest thing out there.
they're a true Christian. I mean, how many people come on the air and say, well, you know, I'm a Christian, but I'm not a real one?
Yeah, that's right. You're right. And
everybody's a constitutionalist.
Well, and I tell you, I've had a lot of spiritual growth myself in recent years. 4 years ago, my 16-year-old son was killed in an accident. And from that, though, I've gained so much knowledge of the other side, the spirit world, and what true unconditional love is. And I think Brad Schneider was talking how there is more good in the world, which welcomes more evil and more hate. And I think as there's more love in the world, there's also more hatred in the world.
I believe there is. Thank you, my friend. Take care. The amount of hatred in the world gives me it gives me sorrow. That's all I can say. I'm sad about it. I wouldn't even say I'm angry about it. The proper emotion is sadness. Is sad about it. Now maybe on a different day I'll feel a little better. I don't know. But listening to this just makes me sad. It just makes me very, very sad because I know. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, Leonard.
Hello, Leonard. All right.
I'd just like to comment on the subject that's been kind of kicked around here in the last couple hours with this Turner Diary thing and things like that. I'm a Black American, and I'd just like to kind of bring another angle to this discussion because a lot's been said, but there's a lot that really hadn't been said.
Oh, there's a lot that hasn't been said. You're right. You know what I would like to do? I'd like to find another one of these guys and let you debate. Would you like to do that?
Well, I'd be pleased to do that. Absolutely.
All right, good. It's our nickel. Hold on. I'll put you on hold. All right. Let's do it again. This is what spontaneous radio, I think, is all about. Let's have ourselves another skinhead. Do we have another skinhead out there? Let me open the line for that. Area code 702-727-1222. Let's have ourselves another white supremacist, shall we? Area code 702-727-1222. And if we can get somebody else who feels that way, we'll do yet one more debate. The new $100 bills. Ugly. Very ugly. But unfortunately, that's not the main problem. Looks as though we've got one for domestic consumption and one for international consumption. Why do you suppose they have to do it? There's a good reason. If you do the numbers and you look at the debt, even with the deficit ostensibly cut in half, as the president would brag, we continue to mount more debt all the time. A lot of Americans don't know that. They think, why, the president's really turned it around. You know, the debt's still going up, and it is gigantic. The interest on debt will soon consume all the money that we have, that we might use for anything else. Imagine that. Then what? What are we going to do? Well, a lot of people believe there's going to be a devaluation. You want to know the rest of the story about the currency change? We will send it to you for free, without obligation. Call 1-800-877-9799. That's 1-800-877-9799, North American Trading. Let's do a little searching on the telephone here and see what we can find. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, Are you a white supremacist? Turn your radio off, please. Give us your first name.
Rick.
Rick. And roughly where are you, Rick?
Los Angeles.
L.A. All right. Here is, and I'm sorry, sir, I forgot your first name.
Leonard.
Leonard up in Alaska.
Right.
Alaska and L.A. You're both on the air.
Yeah, Rick, what is it that you believe that makes white people so much that, you know, you should run everything and that no other people should be involved in the workings of this world?
I believe that everybody is different. We have a different ethical backgrounds, and I don't believe that you're supposed to hate somebody because they're white. And you know that's how it is in this country.
Well, if I understand correctly, you hate people because they're black. I mean, if you're a white supremacist.
I see there is a difference between us.
But it's not difference. I mean, difference is what makes this world as beautiful as it is. If everything was one color, then, you know, we'd all be blind.
I would have no problem with them if we were all equal.
No, I'm talking about being blind and all things being one color.
No, it can't be that way.
Well, it can't be that way. I mean, because it takes all kinds to make this world what it is. I mean, if you look at World War II and what happened with the Allied effort, I mean, there were people down in Solomon Islands, down in Australia, the Aborigines. I mean, you had people all over, doing different things to try and make this place livable for all people, not just one people.
Why do you want to insist on mashing this together?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've got a break coming up, and I'll hold both of you over. Can you both stay?
Yes, sure.
Is that a yes?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, good. Both of you stay right there, and we'll be right back. This should be interesting. Boy, it's some country we've got on our hands today, isn't it?
This is Premier Network. That was Art Bell hosting Coast to Coast AM on this Somewhere in Time.
Either they're closed-minded and intolerant, and it can't be tolerated. After hearing this show tonight, it seems like total extermination of the white race is the only solution for racism, bigotry, and anti-Semitism. Do you see any other way? The Jews have the right idea. Are we ready to fire up the ovens? Pedro. From Alaska and L.A., you're back on the air again.
Yeah, you started to make a statement there. I'd like for you to go ahead and make your point. Hello?
Are you there, caller? Oh, you know what? I think he took off. He took off. So why don't you go ahead and say what you want to say?
You know, what makes America great is we got the best of all that this world has to offer. We got the best from every country, you know, in creation. And that's what makes America great. And, you know, for folks to have this self-righteous idea that, you know, it's all because of them and because of something that their father or grandfather might have done, that, you know, that's what made America. No. I mean, Pocahontas, when she showed love for John Roth and all of the other people that she helped, I mean, she was an Indian. She was different. And, you know, when we work together, when America comes together,
I mean, there's nothing on this planet that's better.
Yeah, the last good example of that was World War II, and arguably it's been getting worse, not better, and I puzzle with that.
Well, there are people out there that make big bucks when they find people that just choose to follow for no good reason, and spend their money and devote their time for no good reason. I mean, it's money. It's money.
Maybe it's money, I don't know. It's hatred, and it's building, and maybe it is money. Maybe it seems like money is at the bottom of most stuff, but
it sells art. And if you look at the bottom line, it's all about money. And if folks would take time to really try and add direction to what they do with their time, their effort, and their enthusiasm, they would realize, that, this kind of a thing, I mean, that's no way to spend time. I mean, because it's something that it's not infinite. I mean, we don't have all the time in the world, but when you're young, like the young fellow that called in earlier from Oregon, I mean, he thinks and believes that, he's right. But when he sees the blood and guts that will have to be spilled as a result of that philosophy that he's espousing, he'll change his mind. He'll have a different idea, but it'll be too late.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. By then, it's going to be too late. Thank you very much for the call, sir. Way too late. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Mark.
Hello. Yes. Yes, Joe. Yes.
I hope that wasn't a wasted 2 hours. Somebody got something out of that 2 hours of debate.
Oh, I got a lot out of it.
Yeah. I'm black too, and I had to turn some of it off. I had to walk away. It just seems that this country is heading towards,
I know.
It's heading towards disaster.
I know, and it's picking up, speeding up, along with everything else that seems to be going wrong. This hatred is building. There are more devotees, more followers, more people who, if they don't have their heads shaved as they ought to have.
Yeah, if you don't believe in the right God, you're dead. If you don't have the right color, you're dead.
Yeah, that's it. That's us. And if it doesn't change, we're all dead.
That's true. Okay.
Thanks for the call. Take care. First time caller line, you're on the air.
Yeah, hello, Art.
Hello.
Well, I'm scared. That's for sure. I'm from Aberdeen, Washington.
Yes, sir.
Well, I got a lot of Indian blood in me. And there's the guy you had on earlier, I think his name is Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And he had mentioned the name of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I worship that name, and it's been how can I say it, linked to white supremacist groups, and it's discouraging because we have an assembly, and on the outside of our assembly we have the name of Yahweh on it, and we were getting eggs and all this stuff at it, and we're not racist. We love every race. It's just, I guess, disheartening. And for those out there that, those skinheads, I believe biblically, salvation is of the Jews, and the Jew is not one of the flesh, but one of the heart. And there'll be people from every nation, all times, and all kings to make the kingdom. Yeshua, or Jesus. He was Jew.
No, it's thank you. Yeah. Well, I suppose when it all comes down, it'll all run red in the same puddle. I wonder if that'll mean anything to anybody. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello. Okay, Adrian. You're surprised?
I'm surprised.
Just didn't think it was out there. Kansas City.
Yeah, she had been robbed and by blacks. And, I think she was concerned that the penitentiaries were full with a disproportionate amount of black people.
Mm-hmm.
There was someone from Oregon that thought that black people didn't want an education, or was it from Fort Worth?
Right, I remember the calls.
Yeah, right. And it's like they don't understand the economics and the fundamental things about education. You know, it's like society runs America, and it's supposed to be a free country. I would think that it would be their responsibility to make sure that everyone got an equitable education. But as we know, that's not true. We have schools in America that don't have adequate light, water, support system. We have children going to school that can't even use the bathroom. We have Black Americans that can't get a bathroom. They can't do it. They are desperate people. I think that some of the people need to understand that.
No, thank you. I think in America today there are a lot of desperate people. Desperate about many things. Increasingly desperate. Increasingly short-tempered. Increasingly uncivilized. In other words, what I call the quickening. It's all around us, isn't it? Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, Artist Elizabeth.
Well, hello.
You know, I was thinking they won't have to bother with the gas ovens because the ozone hole, which was created by superior white technology, will be getting all You know, white skin, a gift of God. I want to dedicate this thought to Jeff, the skinhead. All skin color on the planet is the result of two diseases. Are you aware of that, Art? Rickets, caused by vitamin C deficiency. If you have dark skin and you get too far north. And melanoma, if you're too far south and your skin is too light. And it takes only 2,000 years to change skin color. Skin color genes are the fastest moving genes in our DNA. And all skin color is the result of solar radiation and two diseases. I'm telling you the truth, look it up.
I'm aware of it.
Also,
It doesn't seem to make any difference. It's not regarded that way by those who have managed to learn to hate on that basis.
well, it's so ridiculous, isn't it? And the other ridiculous thing is this Yahweh, I'm reading from the dictionary here, Yahweh, anyway, there's about 8 ways to pronounce it. You know, they despise the Jews, but they not only worship a religion that was written or compiled at least by the Hebrews, but the word Yahweh is a made-up name. It's not even in the Bible. It was created, invented by Masoretic Jews, and then,
If we spent 1/10 the time trying to be productive, for example, going to space or going to some other galaxy or traveling faster than light, we'd already be in saucers. We would be the aliens if we spent 1/10 the time doing that as we do hating.
you're absolutely right, and I've got one final thought. What is the opposite of the quickening, Art?
A time machine to go back to 1955.
The opposite of the quickening is community. The opposite of the quickening, and I'm absolutely serious about this is my college major. The opposite of the quickening, you know, this apocalyptic rocket ride to Armageddon, the opposite of the quickening is community.
Elizabeth, have you been reinstated or are you still banned in Portland?
Well, I'm still banned, but one last note, you know, the Left Wing brother,
Yes.
he did something quite remarkable. He's a local hero, and he not only defended me with a speech on his show and a letter to his brother, the but he and the right-wingers put together this committee. Do you know about the committee to vote down Initiative 24?
I've heard of it, yes.
He made a coalition of the right wing and the left wing, and it's called something like the committee to vote down silly politicians who just want to grab our power committee or something like that. It's really funny. But I mean, he did something quite remarkable.
Well, maybe you'll get reinstated if you keep saying nice things. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Well, let me get my radio.
Yes, please.
I was just listening to Elizabeth dribble there.
Yes.
Goes to show what anybody can do when they open up a book. Anyway, what's the deal, Art, with I didn't catch all of your show. And you're talking about something, you have a link to your link on your page going to something about UFOs now. What was that about? I missed it.
Look, all right, just go take a look at it. Go to my webpage, go to Eon 4.
Okay, I did have another comment.
It's a link up at the top of the page. You can't miss it.
And you said Eon?
Eon 4, yeah.
Eon 4. I did have another comment. I was listening to your show, and I love how everybody dabbles around the point of the Bible having nothing to do with UFOs. Have you seen I'm sure you've seen
We haven't been talking about UFOs at all.
What's that?
I said we have not been talking about UFOs at all.
Oh, no, I understand that. I was talking about the other day. This is the first time I've been able to get through.
I see.
I just love how everybody dabbles around it. You've seen the alien autopsy, the uncut version?
Many times.
And I would definitely agree that with one of your, I don't know who it was that you had on, but they were saying that there's two possibilities with it, that it's either a fake or it's real, of course. And
why don't we call it the alien autopsy, the director's cut?
Yeah, I saw the director's cut, yeah.
Alien autopsy, the director's cut. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Hi, Art, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
When we face God on Judgment Day, we will be judged on our sins, not our skin color. And I believe that whites will be judged
Yeah, but a lot of our
more severely by God.
All right, well, I don't. See, that's judgment based on skin color, lady. Will be judged more harshly, huh? One sentence out of her mouth, nobody's going to be judged on skin color, and then the next sentence is, whites are going to be judged more harshly. This lady is out of the left-hand world somewhere. First time, do the wild thing. 702-727-1295. Don't give me you're not allowed to use last names on the air. That's number one.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So what is your first name?
My first name is Wesley.
All right.
And half black, half Puerto Rican. So I can take it from the Hispanic side and the black side. I've been listening to your show for a few months.
All right.
I get I'm not really too surprised about the attitude that everybody has because I run into it a lot. And it just shows, to me, it just shows that a lot of people are ignorant and they just haven't picked up a book to really educate themselves. To say that one race owns the country and everybody else, we all come from different areas. And we all deserve to be here. That's what makes America, the great country it is. And to me, economics has a lot to do with the situation. It seems like when people run out of work or the jobs are hard to find, they tend to blame other races for the problems that they have.
Oh, we're good in America. We blame everybody else for everything.
Yeah, and I just wanted to express my opinion as far as that's concerned. It's like, I don't know what to say about it other than the fact that I can tell right off the bat when people espouse all that hate that they're really ignorant or they're really fearful, because eventually all of us are going to assimilate if we're going to survive. And to me, when you mix up all the races, they come out to be real beautiful people. Not to say that other races that, like white or Chinese or whatever are not pretty people on their own, but my experience is like if you mix races together, they come out to be real beautiful children and stuff like that.
They generally do. That's true.
And the last thing I like to say is, as far as the hate is concerned, I know it's taught. And the only thing I can say is that you just look at the playground where the kids are playing at, and you can tell exactly that, we're not born with the hate. The hate is taught and passed down to the parents.
Boy, it must start early. Thank you very much. It must start early. Because there's a lot of it out there, and just puzzles me and saddens me knowing that there is more of it, not less, more. For a lot of years, I thought it was getting better. Arguably, for a little while it was, I guess. But bubbling underneath, and increasingly so in the last few years, there's more and more and more and more hate. Racial, religious, economic, all the areas that are fiction. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Well,
yes.
hi.
Hi. Goodbye. First time caller line, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Guess what?
Is this myself?
Good guess. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Get into that phone and scream at me.
Okay, hello?
That's better. Go ahead.
Okay. I believe that this all took place about 40 years ago.
What did?
The dumbing down of America, the intolerance, the fanatic liberal agenda, and we have absolutely no civility left.
Very little.
Our moral standards are below gutter level. I mean, you can go on, and that's what's happened. There's total ignorance, which then definitely you cannot tolerate through ignorance.
All right, well, I appreciate your call. I don't disagree with you. I don't know about the timeline. I just know that in the last few years, and I mean very few, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5, the situation has been worsening. The tolerance lessened. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You know, I'm a native of this area back here east of the Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
I'm Bob from Tuscaloosa.
All right, Bob.
Art, we are in darkness, but everything will be all right because God did not lose his way. Now we're lost. It's darkness. There's confusion. But everything will be all right because we are all on this planet together. But everything's okay. But it's okay as far as God's concerned and as far as we'll be concerned out here in the future as we wake up.
All right, sir. Well, I hope you're right about the way it's going to be. I sincerely hope so. West of the Rockies, you're on the air with probably only enough time to get the honors. Where are you calling from?
This is Bob calling from Farmington, New Mexico.
Farmington, New Mexico.
Yes, sir. Listen to you on 1390 KVAM.
All right. Well, listen, I'd like to give you more time, sir, but the program is ending, and do you know how to do the honors?
Yes, sir, I sure do.
Well, then, lay it on.
From the High Plains Desert of the Great American Southwest, good night, America.
Oh, well done. Farmington, New Mexico, huh? And from the high desert in the Great American Southwest, I'm Art Bell. Something to think about tonight. Good night, America.
Extraterrestrial Radio begins. Good evening, everybody. I am Art Bell, and this is Dark Matter. A few little housekeeping measures, I guess, to begin. About 1 million requests for a couple of people, and I don't have immediate access to them. One is Mel Waters of Mel's Hole fame. Mel, if you're out there, we'd love to get an email or a phone call from you, or contact my producer, and we'll do it again and get an update. Mel's Hole, well, it was about a man who found a hole in the ground that apparently was endless. Some pretty interesting properties. Also, John Teeter. If John is anywhere near the timeline, John, figure out a way to go to artbell.com, actually, either one of you, and email my producer, Paul Bowman. He's the way to get on the air over here. And we'll see what we can do. So, 2 oldies but goodies. John Teeter, Mel Waters. By the way, you know who I did talk to? Madman Markham. I've got Madman's tentative phone number. All right, in the housekeeping category, inactivity. A lot of emails. I get lots of emails about, what's going on with the show, Art? Geez, at 90 minutes and then it cuts me off and I've got to reconnect. All right, well, there's a reason for it and a way around it. Number one, if you're listening to the program and you're cut off after 90 minutes, that means you didn't touch anything. So what I'm telling you to do is reach out and touch. Turn your volume up or down a little bit sometime during that 90-minute period. Then they begin counting again. You see, it's a sort of man versus machine thing. They know that man can make mistakes. Not machines, right? In other words, you might tune into the channel and then forget for 3 days that you've got your computer downloading and downloading and downloading, so they do that. And it will save you money and save them money because of streaming costs. Bandwidth is money. Have you heard that before? Bandwidth is money. So all you've got to do to prevent it anyway is reach over and touch the volume or something, turn it up or down a hair, or almost anything you do on the receiver will reset that 90 minutes so you don't get cut off. Hope that helps. Now, the wormhole. The wormhole has been experiencing unusual gravitational effects. What that means, translation, is that our wormhole at artbell.com, which is supposed to reliably send a message over here, actually had some sort of software glitch in it. And of course, you guys pounded the holy you-know-what out of it. And that contributed to its demise, its premature demise. It crashed about 21 times during the last show that I did. So, we now have a new, improved, cannot be crashed wormhole. Pete Rowan went to work and wrote code and made a new wormhole, and it really is sweet. And later on tonight, I'm sure we will test its mettle by having you all send a bunch of messages. But I do have faith that this new creation of Pete's, because he's very, very good at what he does, is going to hold up. Anyway, we're going to find out. Now, BlackBerry. See the news today? 4.7 billion, something like that. People who have BlackBerries love them. I know I have an iPhone 5. It's hard to understand why people love them so much. They're businessmen mostly, but they love them. Now it's sold, and they're going to cater to exactly those people, the business people. So even though you heard the news today, if you're one of those guys, I know Bob Crane is, you'd have to rip his BlackBerry out of his cold, dead fingers. So you'll be okay. And then it was really cute. I saw a kid on CNN earlier today, a 3-year-old this is sort of an illustration of the times we live in now. A 3-year-old. Little boy, cute as heck. But mom and dad had just switched to iOS 7, the new operating system for Apple, and he was crying. I don't like it. I don't want it. Just crying, crying. Doesn't like iOS 7. I'm just getting used to it. I don't know how y'all are doing out there. Looking around the world briefly, Kenyan's security forces were in what they said were the final stages of flushing out Islamic extremist terrorists from the shopping mall where so many were killed. There are now, and this is really sad, there are reports that as many as 3 Americans may have been among those who attacked the mall. What? Americans? Really? Iran's new foreign minister is going to join talks with 16 nations trying to rein in the Islamic Republic's nuclear program. That'll be later this week. Good luck with that. 30 large dolphins each themselves in Brazil. We'll figure that one out someday. And another government shutdown. Seriously. It's one of the reasons that honest God, I really don't care very much. I mean, you can't avoid politics entirely. But if there's a reason to do it, it's this. Another government shutdown. I almost feel like saying, who the hell cares? You know they'll come right up to the brink and then they'll either shut it down or refund it. You know, it's all about Obamacare, I guess. Selective's DNA, high-velocity DNA tagging system, may come to a neighborhood near you soon. You can actually see it in action, I think, on the web. It's available in both pistol form and rifle form. It is a new tool that will allow government agencies to prevent criminals from running away or disappearing into a crowd before being arrested. Now, what this little baby does, it's a high-velocity tagging system. They shoot you with it, right? Up to 30 or, say, 40 meters away. They hit you with selected DNA high-velocity pellet. It contains a unique DNA code to ensure the correct person is apprehended later. DNA pellets used by law enforcement officers tag individuals with unique selected DNA code from a distance. Just wonderful. On contact with the target, the uniquely coded selected DNA solution leaves a synthetic DNA trace mark that will enable the relevant authorities to confirm or eliminate that person from their involvement. So in other words, if you're protesting something, and I guess you're getting out of control or whatever, they hit you with this, and boom, you're DNA tagged like that. Incredible. Times we live in. And I can still hear that poor little 3-year-old crying about iOS 7. I don't want it. All right. In a moment, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to talk about Roswell, and we're going to talk about the Nevada Roswell. I'm Art Bell, and this is Dark Matter. Well, all right, this is Dark Matter, not some other show, so there's a couple of things I want to note here, and that is that it's kind of a different atmosphere. We have either 3 or 4 hours, virtually to do anything we want. It's amazing how much time we have. If you deduct the commercial time, which is extremely minimal, from the totality of the 3 or 4 hour show, you'll find out you're getting a lot of content. So it's kind of like we can take our time and do things at a little or a bit of a leisurely pace. There's something I want you to hear. And this is, as you know, well, I guess you know, or you may have heard, that Jesse Marcel Jr. passed recently. A real loss. But I was able to dig up the voice of Jesse Marcel Sr. You know, the guy who actually was there at Roswell. And I thought you'd be interested in a couple of things that he had to say. And it's certainly worth pondering as tonight we delve into what could be a Nevada Roswell, or may have been a Nevada Roswell. Listen very carefully. This is Jesse Marcel Sr. Pretty interesting stuff.
It began in Roswell, New Mexico. Near White Sands and Alamogordo, Roswell was home base for many early tests of atom bombs and guided missiles. Here also, the practice of military stonewalling may have been perpetrated. The case began when Roswell businessman Dan Wilmot witnessed an amazing object over the town. His son tells the story.
This was their home in July of 1947. It was one summer evening. They were sitting out here. Dad looked up in the west and saw an object that came down. It had lights blinking, and it was rather frightening to him, but he said all of a sudden it seemed to rock a little bit and sort of counterbalance itself, wiggle a little bit, and then seemed to settle down and take off at rapid rate of speed.
The next day, reporters heard that the Air Force had found fragments of the mystery object crashed on a remote ranch northwest of Roswell. Excitement ran high until officials announced it was only a weather balloon. Major Jesse Marcel, in charge of the operation, now tells a far different story.
It's a fiction, of course. They had a whole flock of microphones there. They wanted some comments from me, but I wasn't at liberty to do that. So all I could do is keep my mouth shut. And General Reagan is the one who discussed or told the newspapers, the newsmen, what it was and to forget about it. It was nothing more than a weather observation balloon. Of course, which we both knew differently.
Major Marcel had to keep silent because of his strategic position at that time. He was in charge of all security and intelligence on atomic tests in the United States and the Pacific. Marcel retraced his secret recovery operation across the hot New Mexico desert.
We left Roswell perhaps around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see it's flat. It is very difficult. In fact, with just verbal directions that we know would have found it, we had to follow the rancher out there.
The crash site was so remote, it took an entire day to drive there.
The following morning, we went out to the site where the crash was. And what I saw, I couldn't believe there was so much of it. It was scattered over such a vast area. So we proceeded to pick up as much of the debris as we could, loaded in the wagon. We filled that up. It took us a good part of the day to do that, because it was like small fragments, and we had to do a lot of picking. We found a piece of metal, about 1.5 to 2 feet wide, and about 2-3 feet long. It felt like you had nothing in your hands. It wasn't any thicker than the foil out of a pack of cigarettes. But the thing about that got me is that you couldn't even bend it. You couldn't bend it. Even with a sledgehammer would bounce off it. So I knew that I had never seen anything like that before. And as of now, I don't know what it was.
There is new evidence that the FBI then got into the case with a different cover story. Lawyer Peter Gersten, searching through declassified government documents, came across a mention of the Roswell case.
One of those documents related to an incident in Roswell, New Mexico, which indicated that the object which had crashed was an experimental kite. The FBI investigated the incident and determined that it was terrestrial, that it was from an organization which had been doing research in experimental kites.
What did crash in this desert? A UFO? A weather balloon? A radar-reflecting kite?
It was not anything from this earth that I'm quite sure of. Because I was being an intelligence officer, I was familiar with just about all materials used in aircraft and air travel. This is nothing like that. It could not be. It could not have been.
There you go. That's Major Marcel himself. Interesting to be able to hear his words after all these years, huh? And then one adjoining fact that's pretty interesting. The Roswell incident occurred on July 7th of 47. It was only 3 months later that by order of the National Security Act of 1947, that would be September 19th, 1947, the CIA was created. What a coincidence, huh? All right, coming up now, Jeremy Meter. Jeremy is a Las Vegas, Nevada resident, so he's over the hill here, who's been interested in the paranormal and ufology since he was very young, so we can probably ask him about paranormal too. He's part of a group from southern Nevada called the Bigfoot's Pad Paranormal. What a name. He co-founded that in 2003. Jeremy has appeared on numerous media interviews and TV networks like Sci-Fi, History Channel, International Channel, speaks frequently about ufology and the supernatural. In the last few years, Jeremy has been working on a case from northern Nevada involving lots of strange UFO activities. And here is Jeremy Meter. Jeremy, hello.
Yeah, how are you doing today, Art?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just not done eating dinner around here, actually.
Okay. I didn't interrupt, I hope.
No, you're good. I actually finished like right before the show began.
Okay. Are you on a cell phone?
Yeah, right now I actually am.
Okay. Do you have a real phone?
No, just this one.
Only that one. What happens if your battery goes dead, Jeremy?
I'm actually plugged into the wall right now.
All right.
Right next to the computer, right?
All right. Well, we'll hope for the best. It's hard to know where to begin because I hate to say this, and you know, I'm pure ignorant, but I never heard of the Ely crash.
Not very many people have, actually.
Oh?
Where to begin? Well, the Ely UFO crash is kind of a weird sort of event. I actually, when I began researching it, I went from one UFO crash to 2 UFO crashes and a UFO landing, I guess. People actually get the facts all mixed up and they combine it into one big event. So, there's a pretty interesting story here today, Art. I know most people find this very fascinating. There's stories of men in black. I've actually encountered the men in black in person. There's physical UFO samples that I was given and I picked up from the crash site area. So there's plenty to talk about it.
For those who don't know, how big a town is Ely today?
It's between 2,500 and 4,000, depending on who you talk to and who you ask. I think Wikipedia says 3,500, I think.
3,500. And back at the time of the alleged crash?
I think it was pretty much about the same. There's not really much going on there today because compared to back then, pretty much stayed exactly how it was for the most part.
Isn't that not many towns do? That's very unusual. So it's always been kind of just a little town.
Yeah, there's 3 grocery stores, about a handful of gas stations. I don't think there's any really big name brand department stores there. It's kind of just picture small town America. The best way I could compare it is think of the town on Stephen King's Get the Clown. I hate to say that, but that's what I compare it to.
Okay. Any history of UFOs in that area, either prior to or after this event?
Yes. Actually, the Ely area has been full of UFOs even before this happened. I think it was in 1844 or 1854, I was told. Supposedly a UFO had crashed into farmland out there back then, but I haven't really researched that specific incident that much. But There's also an area over called Duck Creek. It's right over the mountain from Ely. It's probably about a 30-minute, 45-minute drive. There's been long since been stories of UFOs being reported back there. There's an area, I guess there's only about 10 or 15 small farms out there. Well, apparently there's UFOs, when we call them strange lights. I just call them UFOs because I'll get into that in a few minutes. But these lights, I guess they come out of the Duck Creek area where there's no inhabitants. And these glowing red and purple lights, they come through this canyon, and they ride by these people's houses, and I guess they light the houses up whatever color these are glowing. And because I guess there's no sound, they glide, I guess like 6 or 10 feet off the ground, depending on the specific incident. And there's an area called Kalamazoo Road in Pacific where they're seen. And I haven't seen these lights myself, but I have plenty of stories involving these lights. And one of the UFO stories involving the actual crash comes from this general area. That's where one of the UFOs came from.
All right. Well, you would acknowledge, I'm sure, this is not a really high-profile deal like Roswell was. In other words, not a lot of people know about it, at any rate, right?
Not at all.
All right. So then what in the world, how did you get interested in something that nobody's sort of ever heard of before?
Funny story. I was actually doing another radio program back in 2008, and somebody had come on the lines and asked me a story. It was actually a ghost show I was doing. And somebody had called and asked if I'd heard about a UFO crash in northern Nevada, and I had never heard of it. So I went online and I searched it, and I found this, and basically the only thing you find online is the date and the location, which is Ely. And I got intrigued. I went down to UNLV, which is the big college down here for your listeners that are far away. I went to the microfilm collections at UNLV, and the more I started researching, I was finding things that were very strange or didn't exactly add up. Like, the crash date didn't make any sense, because I found basically nothing from the date that they had listed on the internet. Well, I started getting really sneaky, and I actually found the original author who posted it in an old magazine called the New Atlantean Journal back in the 70s, 1974 or so. And they had actually directed me, the author of that magazine directed me towards the original researcher that had found it. And we got to talking, and just based on his facts, I actually went to the town of Ely and found there are tons of first-hand witnesses, tons of stories, been to the crash sites and all that. It's interesting. I mean, I don't really have any words to describe how weird the whole situation turned out to be.
With this purported crash, is there actual, I mean, there's amazing stories to go with it. For example, they say there were 16 bodies. Is that correct?
I know a pretty close number. I know of at least 6 or 8 of them. There's probably more, but I only know about 6 or 8 people. I actually,
do you know anything about those bodies? I mean, in other words, any details from anybody who saw? I mean, if there were bodies, then somebody must have seen them, unless the military got to the site. I'm probably jumping way ahead here, and closed everything off so nobody could see. In other words, how does word come of bodies, whether it be 6 or 16?
Well, this is one of the most amazing parts of the story. I don't know if you want me to tell it all right now or not, but there were stories of civilians. They actually found some of these aliens were living. They got away from the crash site and were wandering around the flatlands, and right outside of town, actually, people were reporting some of these aliens were alive, walking around. So there was some bodies, but some aliens had died at the crash site, yes, but there was actually some reports of them actually, I don't know if call it escaping, but they escaped and were actually wandering right outside of town, probably about 2 or 3 miles from people's houses.
my God. These are people that actually reported to you that they saw these creatures?
Yes, I actually did have them report the alien bodies, and then told the Ely Daily Times newspaper that they put me in the paper, and I told them basically a little bit of my story. And I got probably about between 5 and 10 different callers who didn't know each other, who actually told me that they had seen either the dead bodies or the living bodies, or not bodies, but living aliens.
Did they describe them?
Yes. This is another thing that I've never heard before, besides maybe Flatwood, the Flatwood, West Virginia case of the same year. But anyway, I don't really know how to describe it without giving a specific eyewitness story, and then I can get more into it.
Okay, any description would be very welcome.
Well, I'm going to give you a story real quick, Art, and then I'll get more into the two different types of beings that they reported.
Sure.
Well, the most detailed account of the alien bodies, there was four children. Their ages, I think, 4, 6, 8, and 10. That's all 2 years apart. 2 of them one was a brother, one was a sister, and the other 2 were friends. It's like they're friends. They lived at the base of a mountain right outside of town. I don't know if they want me to give away the exact name of the mountain right away, because people are going to go out to the mountain to try to find something. I'll get to that in a little bit. Well, this mountain is literally overlooking the town of Ely. And people live on the base of this mountain. And there's a big, giant boulder in the center of the mountain. And I guess all the townspeople back then and nowadays, they go up to this boulder and they hang out. Some people go up there and drink beer, or people go up there and just teenagers hang out and that sort of thing. Well, these kids were up on this mountain. They were out at the base of the mountain. They were deep in this mountain, and they were playing. I don't know what they were playing, but I guess they were just playing around. And I guess the sister, because I told 3 of them were girls and 1 was a boy. The boy is now deceased, but the sister was the original one that contacted me. I was talking to the sister, and she had told me that while Mildred was playing, her brother was tearing off. He took off, was running very fast past them. I guess he was like in the hysterics, crying and running away, and he didn't know what he was running from. And the next thing I know, I guess the woman said that one of the other girls took off running and passed her from the same direction the boy had been from. And I guess she said that she had turned around for this big boulder, and on the opposite side of this boulder, she said there was something she said that they called it Thumpers or Rubber Man, was what they originally called it. This was recorded.
I'm sorry, again, please. They called it what?
Thumpers or Rubber Man. I don't know what that means. It was a robotic creature, robotic being. She said that it was metallic looking, and she said you could see the reflection of the rock and the trees and this being, I guess we could torso its whole body. She said that it had at least one of the arms was a pincher. I told her like Robbie the Robot, and she said, yeah, kind of like Robbie the Robot. But whatever this thing was, she said it was either walking fast or it was running, but whatever this thing was, it chased all 4 of these kids off the mountain and they ran into their house. Whatever this creature was actually pacing around their house. And she said that what's that?
Now, is this thing large, small?
She said that it's about the size of an average man, so about 5 to 6 feet tall.
But with pincers.
She said it had at least 1 pincher. I could have had it on both hands. I know that she said at least 1 hand.
Okay.
But whatever the thing was, I guess we ran into the house, and one of the little girls actually fainted, and she had to be brought to the hospital eventually sometime throughout the day because she was having problems breathing and was having heart problems because she got so scared at seeing this thing. And apparently they called the police, and the police went out to the house, and they never found whatever the thing was. I guess I went back into the forest. But here's where the story gets more interesting.
Hold on a second. It's already interesting enough now. Yeah. You said the police became involved, right?
Yeah, the police showed up on the property.
So perhaps, with luck, there's some sort of police report that was filed?
get the police reports, they told me that supposedly they couldn't access the reports that were that old, which I don't know if they can or they can't. I know of other researchers that have found older reports than that. But
yeah, a local police station, maybe not. That's an awful long time ago. And so that we're, hold on, so that we're clear, what is the exact date again of the crash, please?
July 7th, 1952, which is 5 years from the date after Roswell.
Now, isn't that interesting? Same day of the year, huh? July 7th.
Oh yeah, 5 years later.
Wow. All right, so no police report. Nevertheless, the police were there. One child ended up in the hospital. This is really quite a story. Quite a story. And how substantiated do you feel, Jeremy, all this is?
I think it's way underlooked, and I think the whole case in general should be talked about more, and more people should know about it than they do already, personally.
Well, based on what I've heard so far, I would agree with you, yes. It sounds like a big incident. You have creatures, you have alleged aliens, people scared, the police, hospital involved. It's beginning to get to the point where I'm wondering, now, I'm sorry to be jumping ahead on you, Jeremy, but I looked all this up on the internet before I had you on because I wanted to see what sort of story I was getting into. And I did find a YouTube piece, which, by the way, I sent to Keith, and it's up on artbell.com if you want to see it right now. And indeed, there's been a local investigation, and when they first looked in the newspaper archives, suspiciously, the day in question's newspaper was missing. The rest of them were there, but the day in question was missing. Now, they did go to, I guess, some microwave backup or something and found a newspaper for that day, but it didn't reference any UFO crash. Am I right?
Yeah, because the actual date is in July, and the internet says that I think it's August 14th or August 12th. It's actually a month before that. And so that's why the past investigators that tried to look it up have never found any information. Because they haven't been looking at the right date, they've been looking ahead of time.
Oh my. Okay.
And sorry, Art.
And that's all right. Have you now gone back and looked at the correct date and looked for anything in the paper at all?
Yes, actually, the Nevada newspapers, especially Ely, didn't report any sort of incident. If you go to Oregon, Idaho, Washington, or Utah, it did make the front page of many newspapers in those states. Like the government or somebody censored the Ely newspapers and all the ones in those little towns that are around there. Because I don't know why a Nevada paper, especially the town of Ely, would not report that in their paper, but yet Austin and Salt Lake City would have it in theirs. And if it makes front page in Salt Lake City, and that's 2 or 3 hours away, I'm pretty sure that would have been front page news in Ely.
Boy, I wish you had a real phone there. It just, cell phones kind of clip things off. Cell phones kind of clip things off a little bit, and sometimes it's hard to hear. All right, I'm going to ask you to hold tight for a moment. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we get back, we'll get further into the story. But it certainly is fascinating. I mean, imagine something of this magnitude, many bodies, and a crashed UFO in Ely, right here in Nevada, not far away from where I am now. Relatively. All of that, and we're just now talking about it after all these years. You're listening to Dark Matter. You know, this song, I guess I had never heard when I was in Manila, the Philippines. I heard it on a radio station, and I went, wow, I really like that. And of course, I obtained it, and then pretty much listened to it until my ears bled. That's the only way I can get a song out of my head. Is to just do it and do it and do it and do it until I see blood. Welcome back. My guest is Jeremy Meter, and he's talking talking about a UFO crash in Ely, Nevada, right here at home. And it's incredibly fascinating stuff. I mean, really good stuff. But that cell phone connection he's got is absolutely awful. We're going to have to see what we can do to get through it. With regard to the wormhole, let's see. David says the wormhole's a nice idea, but it says do not expect a reply. I don't see how a reply is possible. It looks like a one-way street to me, in which case an expectation of a reply is erroneous. It should say replies are not possible. Well, wrong, David. What do you think you just got? That's a reply. So the wormhole. I mean, feel free to test it, folks. Blast it a little bit. Send me messages. Send me questions for Jeremy, and we'll see if it holds up. I'm telling you, last week it collapsed like crazy. Now, he coded all weekend. I don't mean he, lost his heartbeat or breathing or anything. He coded, wrote code, until we got a new wormhole. And so far, so good. All right, Jeremy, welcome back. Now, question for you, Jeremy. Did my producer ask you if you had a landline phone?
Yeah.
And you answered what?
I actually have my cell phone at the moment.
I understand that. When he asked you if you have a landline phone, what did you say?
I just said, because he asked me if I had a neighbor and I could go use their phone. I said, no, I didn't.
I see. Okay, well, it's really tough on the air, Jeremy, because what you're saying is really fascinating stuff, and I'm going to try and continue with you here, but it's, cell phones are just not the way to go for an interview. That's why we talk about landline phones. So let's keep going as we can anyway. The actual crash site itself, Jeremy, you said it was overlooking the town of Ely, so obviously it's up on the hill, up on a mountain, whatever. Is there
not the actual crash site, that's where the living aliens were recorded. The actual crash site's a little bit further away. It's like on a little bit further down.
All right, look, it's been a long time. I don't think there's a lot to fear from people going out there. Can you tell me where the crash site is specifically?
The actual crash site is outside of the town of Ely. It's close to a town called McGill and another smaller town called Cherry Creek. And the alien beings, this is my theory, they probably came through the mountains or the woods. The best way to describe this for you and your listeners is there's flat land, and at the base, these flatlands go all the way to the base of the mountain, and that's where the mountain starts, that's where the forest begins. And there are two crash sites. There's a southern one and a northern one. This is the southern one I'm talking about here. The southern crash site, these alien beings could have walked through the woods. It's not very far away. They could have walked onto towards the mountain where those kids,
Right.
But
all right. Here's one for you, and I'm sorry. Can you give me actual GPS coordinates?
GPS coordinates?
Yes.
I might be able to. Let me look at my notes.
Okay, I would think through a long period of investigation, you might have marked the actual site with GPS coordinates. And I don't think there's any harm in giving it out on this late date. I mean, it's been so long now, right? 1952. So people want to go and visit, and if people can find something, then hey, why not? It's okay. If you find them, let me know. It's not something I have to have right now. Okay?
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the name of the mountain is called Squaw Peak. And I'm trying to find the name of the specific area where that boulder is. I know I have it written right there. But yeah, I guess she said the locals just call it Big Rock. That's what my notes say. It's called Big Rock. It's halfway up on Squaw Peak.
And that's actually where the crash site is?
That's where they have seen the aliens, the living alien creature I just told you about.
Okay. All right, so that's not the actual crash site.
No, I haven't got the actual crash crash site.
Okay, don't worry about it, Jeremy. Go ahead and tell the story, and maybe during breaks or whatever, if you can find GPS coordinates, I would love to give it to the audience. Because people might want to go out there and look around, and they might find something, Jeremy. You get enough people going through an area, you might turn something up.
Well, I know that one of the girls still lives on the base of the mountain, still in the same house. So I was just going to say, I don't know if she wants people to be out there, because that's her actual backyard, as part of it is, if they go down lower.
Okay, I get it. I wouldn't want it either.
But,
go ahead.
I was going to say, would you like me to talk a little bit about the general story before we get deep into specific parts?
I do, yes. I do. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'll give you a generalization of the story, and we'll get deeper into specific parts as we go along. Well, around 10:30 in the morning on July 7th, 1952, over Ogden, Utah, they had seen some kind of a weird fiery object coming down at I guess you said it was a 180-degree angle coming towards the ground.
Wow.
It was slowly sustaining air. This was reported as an orange fireball with leaving a blue gaseous-looking cloud of smoke behind. And this object was originally reported in Idaho. I guess it flew over to Utah, and then it went back towards Nevada. And Ely, Nevada is kind of in the northern part of the state towards the top right corner.
Right.
Well, at the same time, around the same exact time, there was civilian witnesses that reported a green T-shaped object with a gaseous blue smoke trail behind it coming from the Washington and Oregon area.
Wow.
And these two objects are coming towards each other, and the next thing you know, the western or eastern object flies over Salt Lake City. Well, Hill Air Force Base, they actually had a tower there, and they reported that they had seen this object. They actually got planes in the air to chase after this object, I guess, is what the Project Blue Book report says.
Oh, no, wow. This is really full of surprises, Jeremy.
The Project Blue Book actually has about 10 or 15 pages on this specific incident.
Okay.
Well,
that's good to know. I had no idea it was documented at all. And here you are coming with all this information, people having cited the descending objects. Wow.
Well, here's what happened. There was a D-17 flying around Hill Air Force Base doing these maneuvers, I guess training of some sort. It doesn't really say, but this D-17 was doing training maneuvers, and the tower told them to go chase after this object. Well, they were going 300 miles per hour, and they came nowhere near this thing. They flew through that gaseous blue cloud I was telling you about, but they could never catch up to it. Well, people over in Montello, Nevada, which is in the top right corner, almost in Idaho and Utah, they reported a giant explosion, and this thing had came down and actually smashed into the ground outside of the town of Montello. It's an area called the Berry Valley.
Okay.
And nowadays, the small town that was in the Berry Valley is gone. Montello's the closest town, and only 35 people live there nowadays. So, if you plan on ever, I'll talk about the crash site a little bit, but that crash site's actually like a 3-day drive, basically. And then, I guess one of the objects had hit the other one, and one had came down south and was struggling between the air, and it had crashed at the site that's near McGill and Cherry Creek, I was telling you, right by Ely. So this is where the story gets confusing. Is people report that the two crash sites are actually one crash site. And there's something that happened in the 1970s in the town of Ruth, which is even closer to Ely than the Cherry Creek crash site. But that was a UFO landing. I'll get into that in a little bit.
You know, that's not unusual. I mean, even with Roswell, you've got one crash site, no wait, you've got two, and you've got bodies at another location. So, you know, what you're saying is kind of consistent with the way these things seem to be reported.
Yeah. Well, something interesting I forgot to tell you was the Ogden newspaper from July 8th, 1952, they actually reported that this fire had burned 600 acres of land. Wait, I think it was July 8th. Yeah, KYH, they report that the fire had burned 600 acres from the northern object. The southern object started a fire, but it wasn't as big. The fire in the southern object was reported at 11:30 in the morning, and the northern one was reported around 10:30, 10:45. So they're pretty close between the amount of witnesses. The one that had crashed up north was closer to town than the one that was in south.
And the one that was sighted in Utah, that was at about 10:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah, the military from Hill Air Force Base actually reported that it was at 10:30 in the morning their time, is when they had initially seen the thing on fire.
Okay. Well, we may have had our own Roswell here. Is that what you conclude? After all your investigation, you conclude that what happened here in Nevada in Ely was in fact a Roswell for Nevada?
Definitely. I have stories of alien bodies through the southern crash site, but the northern one, I don't have any stories of bodies up there.
All right. Now, all of this would have been absolutely impossible, it seems to me, to cover up. And according to, the investigation you've done, it hasn't all been covered up. But at some point, and again, I hate to rush ahead, but was all this covered up? Did they come in and, I don't know, quarantine the area like there's been a plane crash or something?
Well, I'll start with the northern crash site started. The northern crash site, actually volunteer firefighters who out of Montello came up to the crash site, and I guess they had come up to this object. And while they were trying to put out this fire, they didn't know what it was at first. They were trying to put out this fire, and the military told them to leave, and they quarantined out that area. Well, the southern crash site's a whole different story, because there's railroad tracks and a freeway, Highway 50, I think it is, runs right by where the crash site is. So there were people driving by, and the railroad was driving by with their train cars. So quite a few people seen the southern crash site. Highway 93, sorry, I just remember that. But yeah, quite a few people drove past that crash site. I guess the most interesting story I found came from a train worker. The Nevada Northern Railway, a company was called, they used to run trains coming from Bruce, Nevada, which has one of the biggest copper mine pits in the world, called the Robinson Mine. It's been open since the 1800s. Anyway, this train used to bring people to work, used to bring people to school, because it was a remote area, especially at that time. And the people relied heavily on this train. Well, I think I went to the Nevada Northern Railway Museum back in May, and they actually have records of every train log, pretty much since the company started and when it ended. And the story I'm about to tell you actually got documentation of it at the Railway Museum, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so this man was riding on a train. I'm not exactly sure if he was an engineer or what he was doing on the train. I never asked him, but he was riding the rail, and he came across a section of the track. The man told me that was torn up like pretzels. The tracks were destroyed. They were thrown all over the place. They're in the nearby creek, up in the mountains, because they're everywhere.
Torn up like pretzels? Is that what you said?
That's his exact word, because they were bent like pretzels.
Bent like pretzels. Wow. Imagine what it would take to bend a train track. Imagine what it would take.
Oh, yeah. Well, so they managed to stop this train just in the nick of time, I guess. And I guess he said when they stopped the train, they didn't know what had happened to the rails. But I guess if they look off to their immediate left, off on the face of this mountain, they had seen where this object, he didn't know what it was at this point in time, but the UFO had come from the sky, crashed in the ground, and skidded into the small brush and small trees at the base of the mountain. And he told me that the thing was still smoking. It had just happened. This was around noon, by the way. It was 12 or 12:30, so it had just happened recently. And he said that this object was out into the trees. And I guess whoever was in charge of the train told them to stay put, not to move. Well, some ranchers had come from that Duck Creek area with those ranchers I was telling you about. And they had gone out of the ranches, and they were all climbing on top of the UFO and picking up small pieces off the ground and whatnot.
Really?
This is what the man told me, and this is exactly what some of the locals stick to this story.
All right. Well, here's okay. I'm sorry. Again, I'm going back to that YouTube investigation thing. You know, they looked through Ely and talked to the population of Ely as best they could. They couldn't find anybody who could relate the kind of stories you're telling. I mean, my God, if you had climbed on top of a UFO, you, your son, your daughter, your wife, everybody connected with you would have heard that story because you'd be telling it like crazy.